Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
broadcasting live.
We will broadcast
live. This is ExtraClass, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.
Good night, everyone. Let me know if you are seeing me clearly. Let me know if you're hearing me clearly. If you're seeing and hearing me clearly, welcome to another episode of ExtraClass, episode number 351. I trust that everybody who is in the hearing of my voice and seeing my face, you, your family, your friends, you are doing well. It's been a minute. I'm bringing my co-host so she can introduce her nice clean self.
Good night, guys. How are you guys doing tonight? I hope everyone is in the best of health, and we're here to have a civilized and fun and informative discussion. As it's been a while, it has been a while. It's Mr. Williams. This is him all the way. We'd like to go for a little bit. I'm off light now, so we're good to go. But good night. I hope everybody's here and we will have a good time on this episode 351.
Alright.
Yeah, the road, man.
Road have to do.
Good for though.
May I take a blame, man? I have nothing to say.
I'm not lying. Am I lying?
Nothing to say, miss. No.
Am I lying?
To say. Yes. What do you mean?
I am lying?
Right. It's a combination. Most of it are you.
No. 80-20.
To you. Anyways, it's been a come up with interview you. Peeps, big up on yourself. But there, Scotty, you look nice and clean. Your audio sound a little bit tinny. But me figure that out and work on that in the future. What your internet?
From morning it has been moving a little shaky. To say the least. But holding strong. Trying to keep me firm and strong.
Over there, peeps, as I said, it's been a minute or 2 or 3. You understand? But over there, it's a combination of things. You see, we have been healthy, but tired sometimes, busy sometimes, different engagements and these things. But over there, no, there are a whole heap of things going since we not forward on. A whole heap of bangarang, murders, all sort of crap and whatnot. But if you realize I haven't covered any murder video, I haven't actually uploaded any at all in recent times apart from interviews, and give God thanks, we still survive, you know what I mean? When you build a thing I can lean back and rock away, you understand? We give thanks. But you know the thing, the Empress General, the people in the building, big up on yourself. My nice clean audio, I not tell you, man, mad.
Just a while ago you sound really nice. But
just now, audio check one.
Right now, yes,
yeah, man,
right
because
really nice.
audio nice, so I can't live up here, so I have to live back here a little bit, you understand?
What weird,
No, I can't live up there, so. And thing. Oh, my head tap my pillow out, you know. That go on with that little thing.
No, it's about itself.
All GoPro and too shabby yesterday, give thanks.
You know another overhead camera.
You know another overhead camera there. I'm going to give you one of them.
No, I don't want it, sir. I want upper body shots.
Yeah. Auntie. But alright, make we Sizzler fan, go on. A Sizzler fan that are Aliberry pan our display pic. Or a Sizzler fan look like a Aliberry, or Aliberry look like a Sizzler fan. Whichever way, nice. You see? I could get that something up and running. Big up to the people, them. It's been a minute. But you know what thing go? Love is always there. No matter we just a raga here, we not care. You know what I mean? I did a video, the first video I do for a minute, like about a week and a half ago into 2 weeks. that is not an interview video and thing. Big up to the people who are tuning in for Sunday service, 12 noon on Sundays. Tomorrow is part 2 of Goofy's interview. You understand? Tuesday is Agent Sasso. We put it out there for early. We don't keep my secret around there. You understand? Double O. You understand?
You read Sasko?
Yeah, man. You know how long we interview Sasko? You mean if you reach Sasko?
Like, listen, me feel like I yesterday we interviewed
Yeah.
Sasko.
Yesterday.
And it's been a minute.
A long time, man.
Yeah, man.
About over 2 months now.
Wow.
Easily. Alright, so I could get moving now. So I did the video this morning about the explosion that destroyed 2 ATM machines at Scotia Bank branch in Port Antonio. And subsequently it was revealed that one man was found in an incinerator at the back of the premises and he was rushed to hospital. The police are also indicating that whilst they have not yet definitively figured out what caused the explosion, they are of the view that it was deliberate. Was the man who was found in the incinerator involved in that? I have no idea. Was he just a patron going to draw some money and end up in an incinerator after the explosion? What triggered the explosion, we don't know. There are many agencies that are currently leading an investigation into the development. I know some people have been saying that no, they're afraid of ATM because they're afraid it will explode. I don't think that the ATM exploded on its own. As I said, the police are suggesting that it was deliberate. Who were the perpetrators? Well, I have not been furnished with that information as yet. So watch and see. But just by the way, for people who have not seen or heard of the story, 1 injured in Scotiabank ATM explosion and more than $12 million loss estimated. The machine they can't cheap, Scotty. Plus, the front way of the bank mash up the roof, destroyed some more things. You understand? So the police have confirmed that a man was injured during the explosion at the automated teller machine section of the Scotiabank branch in Port Antonio, Portland. On Saturday morning, he is currently in hospital receiving treatment. Meanwhile, the police said investigators are now following strong leads and expect to make a breakthrough in short order because CCTV camera in them, you know, all of them.
Yeah, man.
Well, me go in, me look up in night. You understand? Who know watch me, everybody watch me one another. The cause of the explosion has not been ascertained. However, criminal activity is suspected. Officers said the initial estimated loss is assessed to be in excess of $12 million. That seemed very worthy just now. A section of the bank, which houses 2 ATMs, was destroyed in an explosion heard at approximately 4:10 a.m. on Saturday. On arrival, officers observed fire and smoke coming from the front of the building. Further investigations revealed that the 2 ATMs were also destroyed during the explosion. So the Port Antonio Fire Department was contacted and a team of 7 firefighters responded and extinguished the blaze. And the police said a high-level probe is being conducted by several entities. In the meantime, individuals with information that can assist with the investigations can contact the police by calling 119, 311 or any of the following numbers them enough. Let me say I can paste them in this because I can't call out all of them. Rosie in our stream?
Haven't seen her. Because those 2 ATM are literally right at the front of the bank. You pass them.
I forgot to say your place now.
Yeah, man.
Right, so apparently there's a lot of damage going on. You understand?
Alright, the bank is on, you know, when you go around to that jerk place and come back.
I know where the bank there, man.
Yeah, right there.
I know exactly where the bank there. You understand? And thing, Jaja. See. Rosie, I don't want to say it and
yeah, man, Rosie is here.
Oh, she there? Alright.
Yes, so she said she's there.
I'm there. Alright, peace. Before I proceed, well, the gentleman that was found in the incinerator, I hope that he will make a speedy recovery. How he ended up there is, I suppose, will be revealed in subsequent investigations, and what led to the explosion, and the police are angling to criminal activity. So let's see how that go. The monitor here, so gone in right now, I barely see myself and you over here. So
which one? The vertical?
The vertical one. And it's very important, you know. But I think when I buy it for $299. Now them are selling for $425. Then me not buy. So me go and struggle over here. So you understand? If you drop back to the price there, I look good nearer. You understand? And about 2-3 years when I buy it, so all it increase. Like a house.
You know it increase.
Nah man, technology depreciate man. Anything that increase in the price more. Yeah, wicked man, then wicked man. True, they know me want it to, you know. And I want available, you know, brother. First day $395, and I say I not buy that. Then I go back and see it at $450. I say what's I not buy. But long story that, but we need it. I go and watch and see still. Alright, so that man never try draw some money.
You never put down.
Where they don't put down apparently. You understand? And it thing go on. I know them put thousands of people at an inconvenience. You see me I say? Because Jaja.
On the only Scotia there.
Sister said I feel a bill. No, the bill is too expensive. You James man want go on broski. So you know, peeps, let me take the opportunity because I haven't streamed since to, you know, say that our family member, Rosie B, has been treating with a situation within her family that was touch and go, life and death situation with her significant other who was involved in a fatal accident. Not fatal for him, thank God, but his co-worker. And you know, want to take the opportunity to extend, you know, our sympathies. Thankfully, Rosie Bonononos, he's home now recovering, and I mean, we have to give thanks, you understand? And I don't know if his co-workers, friends or family watches, but if they do, you know, let me express my deepest sympathies to his family and friends and such. And Rosie go and hold it, you know. I know it has been, I know how rough it was in the initial stages, but you know it go. That girl Carrie Ann, Shelly Ann, sitting there still, but well, like she nice. Eh?
Carrie, your problem.
So,
Carrie,
Carrie's my friend.
Carrie, what happened?
Sexy Carrie at the beat of me heart. You know that true there?
No, sir. No, sir.
Short man from out Alright, Daddy Screw and you know we got Mountain View, we got interview and something man. Me not remember by Boston, you know man. You know one lane there on our part man. Danavad Steel, yeah man. Danavad Steel and Daddy Screw see. You understand? Then who you sing for no sexy Carrie man, you know what I'm saying? Sexy Carrie at the beat of me heart. You understand? So yeah. Why? You know, always, well, as an educator in the past, I've heard teachers say, you know, we're not getting in a fight, we're not a partner fight, you know. See, you know, some people might say, then what do you mean you're not a partner fight? But then we have heard of people parting fight, getting the point of the knife and name something there. See, watch a style. Is that a good style? But watch it. Man killed after intervening in dispute at betting shop. You understand? So a 63-year-old man who intervened in a dispute between two persons was stabbed to death on Old Hope Road in St. Andrew on Friday morning. So the police are now seeking a suspect in relation to the murder of the man who has been identified as Leroy Johnson, a sales representative of Swallowfield in the parish. Now, according to the police's corporate communications unit, Johnson was stabbed to death at a betting shop about 8:30 a.m. So, reporters understands that Johnson intervened in an argument between the suspect and another salesperson at the shop. The suspect then brandished a knife and stabbed Johnson in the chest before escaping in a motor car. The injured man was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Why? He obviously two man and kill themselves and not try to stop it, you know, but then
Yeah, stop it at your own point.
your life not safe neither, sir. Man too old for your part fight, yeah. Jaja. So man, we are looking at it still, you know. And thing. You know what my ear said, hold on, another ear said, about 13 people get shot at Franklinton recently, you know, at one time, like 13. I good as more. I know Smadini and way. Finna name good as no. You understand? Simple put view TV. What go on family? Give thanks man. Private figure. Zane and was it a party? I'm not even sure. I whole heap of things going on and I threw them kind of owlish and I know about like one shooting going a Cascade and over where a little child died in the shooting. I think three people died there at like sis, I was so removed from the media and social media for the past week and you won't believe like me I tell Jam I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what is going on in the country. Me just remove myself. Me just remove myself. Yeah man, I just removed myself. And then because me know say when in a stream right away still me ain't too. You understand what I say? Pressure my brain either. Cause it's just too much man. It is just too much. Watch out. Junior footballer fatally shot in drive-by. So the Manning Cup footballer was shot on Friday night in a drive-by shooting in West Kingston. So the Gleaner understands that the player was celebrating his birthday when he was shot. Wow. 2 other persons also received gunshot wounds. A coach at the high school where he plays has confirmed death. But the Jamaica Constabulary Force Corporate Communications Unit say it has yet to identify the victim. Well, I mean, this was very quick after the incident. I think the young man also played for Cavalier, and he was supposed to go away in a few days. I like as I said, I glimpse these things, but I don't even know, man. May I tell you the truth? You see, businessman and secretary shot in Discovery Bay. So a businessman and the secretary were shot and wounded by 2 gunmen traveling on a motorbike in Discovery Bay, St. Ann on Thursday. The gunmen, I'm here in my headphone. The gunmen riding on a motorcycle struck at the high-tech garage around 1:30 p.m. The pillion reportedly entered the facility and inquired about bike parts. He then went back to speak to the driver of the motorbike before returning and opening fire on both persons. The businessman was shot several times while the secretary received injuries to her back. Wow. Speaking about all before, there's a million accidents going over Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Cha-cha. And then add to the gridlock down my side I early. Down a watch part.
Man, that traffic.
Then suspend permit to promoters them and this. But what you are going? If I was to give you an assessment, my inclination is leaning towards indiscipline. It was the indiscipline of the motorists that led to that traffic pileup.
But I'm saying, sir, where was there any what do you call them?
Wardens, police.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I couldn't, as I didn't see any.
In a case like that, I mean, you need somebody there because is everybody right away all of a sudden?
But it's a long piece of stretch of road that for really and truly.
But
Because I ride, based on what I see, you then come from right at the roundabout, and mommy be there after you come off of the toll road, go right up to about up a pier. I watch it there, sir.
Yeah.
You understand? If you go up a Margaritaville side, so like how many police you could have out there, sir?
I don't know what happened though, but it looked crazy.
No, indiscipline and impatience. Stuck in traffic from 4 p.m. and reach 2 a.m. Boy, Ainsley, like how you did it there, what go on? Give me the maths. Let me know what your assessment as a man with the dip on the ground. And Ainsley, you're dip on the ground and I know so if you take out your phone and hold it so. Like so. And move steady with it and video 2 things and make a teacher get it if me need to use it. Then Ainsley, you sit down that's up 4 or 6 hours and not make use of time, sir. Jaja, yeah, I think you're up. You don't like that for Ainsley. Ainsley deserve better. See, but you see, it is, I suppose it was the first party weekend after, official party weekend after what, a 2 years lockdown?
And can I say to you, sir?
Say it to me.
The people need wanted to get out.
Obviously. Then you couldn't lock in for 2 years. Yeah, man.
I was locked in for 2 years. I was fine.
Eh?
You could have let me 2 more.
You're not a young girl now.
No. Dog of
Yes.
at my age is no pup.
There's a mother and wife.
Yeah, but yeah, you based on the frenzy in which they came out, it would show that, you know.
Oh, Pearly Beach. Pearly Beach promote and then suspend them pertinent so they not give them no more permit, you know. Yeah, if you know, so I don't
You
know.
know, you know.
So and then I love soca. Downtown was the next thing. Like, I mean, I think they moved the venue and people did that complain. And down the full, you couldn't even move like. You understand? So, yeah, people they just want party, yeah, man, and wine out them beer, yeah, man, and drink some liquor. But you walk on, because I not complain, because companies like Wesinko, you know, start sell some more things, and companies like Grace and them place, and you understand, and I want a few of them shares, I not complain. You see, and the people have to drive, so them buy gas a Fesco. You understand? And thing. And the jerk man, them buy spice from Spur Tree and all
That's
of
why
these
I feel
things.
like I you the petty government what back. I
No,
sound
I
like
never
you're
tell them. I never tell them, you know. But I am wise, cause
I would have seen you being accused of being
I am
on
opening my
that side,
eyes.
you know.
On that side.
Yes, is that so? Let me
then
ask you.
then the people not even like me.
Is that so? Are
then
you
the people
truly on
that
that side?
sure. I am on the side of justice and discipline, miss. You
Okay.
understand? So, but may I tell you, say, you use these things and you call those dots if you invest in them stocks. Stocks like main event, me probably need to buy some of that because I know them responsible for setting up for most of the big events them and these things. So, me just drop some local gems in it as been go along still. Opportunities are there for no no look. You understand me I say? Yeah man, give thanks. Take back your money, brother. Crypto the thing. No man, you joke. Simple put, a joke you make man. The Jamaican Stock Exchange is the most beautiful thing in the world apart from some beautiful girls. You understand? Tell me I tell you that. If I you do. So crypto yes, but no. That's enough for me right now. We are work on Barita, brother. Barita back in the days when it did cheap. Barita almost $100, you know. I mean, you know, buy it for where you buy it for where you think you can go. But right now, I don't think that's so. You understand? And thing. Yeah, so big up to the party people them. You understand? When I buy up the things them and I make my company them are going well. You understand? We give thanks. Eh? Yes, sir.
No, I said so. I seen somebody saying congratulations. I didn't know you were a father.
Oh, me?
Your father? Speak man on this kind of thing.
Yes, father, whole and friends. I would, yeah man, me a father from a taller time, you know. From about 2010 family. It's been a minute, you understand? Yeah man. Alright, so I'm going to continue. Stock Exchange, A1, top shelf from, top ranking. Why I tell you next? So, yeah, well, alright, so I could put this into context. Michael Issa, he's the stepfather of Gabriel King, the little boy, right? And you know him in front of the court for some money for things. So let me give you an update on that. Teach them. Your father, and that's Scotty with her own father self. But man, that's how much you shine. So
How are
this
you
is,
shine?
so,
Yeah,
oh,
please.
oh, this, no, because you are going, because you say, let me say I can find myself alone and see when I look over.
Like somebody dash your coconut help by you.
Oh, so all that change over. That's not supposed to change over.
It wasn't like that before.
Right, me know
Only
what go on, man.
child.
Probably I went me and then me did fix set the thing right and so I can't even use it again. Bombard. But alright. we have to go fix it back. You know how long we spend on this, brother? To set up this.
Boy,
Me know
it's
what man.
real.
It let me down. You understand? From above, you let me down. And I saw this so wide and bright all of a sudden. Then that not right. But alright. Me gone. What you with it? Me and Scotty. What that name? This. Okay, right. So let me change up my camera. Yo. Big up yourself for the Knicks. Yeah, man. And thing. You Rose him, his father all along our friends, man. I mean, been a stepfather to you know. And then sitting there. Enough time. Yeah, I mean. Every you need care, you know.
Who's a kill is make your stepfather? I do. I don't like that film.
Ah. Mm. Soon as the lip glass pull out. See that one in a hide. Right? That's how it is. So we're going to move on. So July 21st, obstruction of justice trial for a lawyer. So Gordon Rowan, the attorney for businessman Michael Issa, is booked to stand the trial in the St. James Parish Court on July 21st for obstruction of justice in relation to a case of resisting arrest and indecent assault. And indecent language concerning his client. Indecent language, let me clear up that because next thing I hear say. Brown, who appeared in court yesterday in a dark blue suit and with a calm demeanor, got the trial date and was bound over to attend the next court date. When the matter was briefly mentioned before presiding judge Sasha Ashley, Sasha sounds like a nice judge, you know. During the proceedings, the prosecution admitted that full disclosure of documents of Brown's defense attorney, Henry McCurdy, had not been completed. However, it was indicated that the disclosure would be completed ahead of trial, with July 21st as a suggested convenient date. Brown, who had previously appeared in court on March 30, was charged in relation to charges of negligent loss of firearm, indecent language, and resisting arrest, which had been laid against Issa, the stepfather of 9-year-old Gabriel King, who was brutally murdered on January 13. The details of the allegations against Brown have not been disclosed. Now, according to reports, Issa was arrested and charged when he went to make a police report on January 13, hours after his stepson was abducted and killed. It is understood that the matter of Issa's licensed firearm, which went missing on December 17, 2021, was later found, is unrelated to the child's death. So that issue they are saying is unrelated to the child's death. But me, I wouldn't find it gun and where, when and where. But because the firearm was found, the negligent loss of firearm charge against him was eventually dismissed. However, Issa is to stand trial in relation to the other charges on May 16th. While there are available updates in the respective cases concerning Issa and Brown, there have been scanty updates on the investigations into the death of young King, an issue which has provoked public criticism and condemnation. King, who was developmentally challenged, was abducted from his mother along the Tuckameen Road in St. James on January 13, after she was reportedly carjacked by assailants while navigating a pothole. The assailants dragged the mother from her motorcar and made off with the vehicle, with the child still in the backseat. The car was later found abandoned off the Fairfield Bean Road in Montego Bay, and King's body was found at the rear of the vehicle, with his throat slashed. His body was later cremated on March 4th. On the heels of the child's murder, Senior Superintendent Vernon Ellis, head of the St. James Police Division, said that information revealed to the public about the case must be delivered in a way that will not compromise the investigation. Yes, Rasta. Ah, boy. One of them that we watch and see like Tanansi, you know they say Tanansi no spoil a dance. Spooky indeed. It's a spooky, alright. X-Files type of vibes. Every corner in Jamaica get violent. Can't believe. Cha. What up with this permit thing in Jamaica? Boom. Boombox Friday was locked off by the bias police in Kencat last night. That's why crime will never be on decline. What's up with the permit thing? Okay. You know, I'm not going to get into that right now. And thing. Yeah. So there was chaos, anarchy, fiery protest in the wake of a civilian being killed by a member of the Jamaica Defence Force in the week. And we have seen this before. See, and before I proceed, let me take this opportunity to say it is good to stand up for what you believe in. I have no issue with that. See? If you believe in a cause, you fight for it.
Right.
However, in the search of justice, we cannot be selective. We cannot be in search of only conditional justice. If we are in search of justice, we should be in search of justice. Full stop. Zane, and innumerable times I have seen instances where members of the security forces have shot and killed or injured citizens, and there is wide protest. And I have also seen in some of these same communities children and women being murdered and raped. Seen multiple fatalities in individual incidents and not one sound. Zane? And I am never going to condone extrajudicial killing or excessive force by security or members of the security forces. And if the gentleman was killed unlawfully, I suspect that Indicom will figure that out and steps taken to prosecute where necessary or if necessary. However, that said, I have the video of the shooting incident. I have watched it, and I'll leave it at that. But what I'll say is this. Information, I've not seen it in mainstream media yet, that some 13 houses were set ablaze last night in Denham Town, I think, sometime last night. I am not certain of the details. I don't want to speak on it too much, but I just want to take this opportunity to say I saw residents of Denham Town about 3-4 days in a row out on the streets protesting as they have the rights to do. I'm okay with that. However, that said, I have also seen many instances where murders have occurred in Denham Town and we don't hear pin drop. Children have been killed. Women have been murdered. Zane? And just like how they know that the soldier killed the gentleman and they went to Upper Camp to demonstrate, they know who killed the people in them community. God, they are going to demonstrate to man. But that will never happen. You understand? That will never happen, because if that was the case from the get-go, many of these murders could not take place again. But I'm just saying, let us be consistent in our pursuit of justice. You understand? That's just my thing as it relates to that. We can't be just when it is convenient to us or when it is our family members or a friend. Zane, if we want to save the country, we have to take a stance against injustice and violence wherever it pops up. However, that said, let me see. Oh yeah, no, my thing still not fixed. Bombard.
Still right.
Yeah, everything out of work, man. Bombard. You know what I mean? Stop that. I go over that. So, days.
Oh yeah, friend.
Eh?
I'm not on my friend.
My friends.
Gosh,
JDF says it is cooperating with probing to injury of civilian in Denham Town. So the Jamaica Defence Force say it is fully cooperating with investigators into the injury of a civilian in Denham Town, Kingston today. So that incident is different now. So in a statement, the JDF did not provide details of the incident, which comes days after the fatal shooting of another resident under controversial circumstances. Thursday's incident happened in the zone of special operations in Denham Town. The JDF also said it is carrying out its own internal investigations. As this matter may become litigious, we will not make any further comments at this time, so as not to compromise or prejudice either the external or internal investigations, said the JDF spokesperson in a statement. The Army said over the past 5 years, it has served Denham Town through the zone of special operation, and it remains committed to continuing this service. Let me add to that, I have seen videos where, well, I saw a particular video, let me say that, where a man who was being accosted by soldiers was kicking soldiers and
I saw that one too.
And at the time, when the video that I saw, that particular soldier was not even the one accosting him. You understand? The soldier's back was turned, he was kicked. When the soldier turned around again, he was kicked. And then after the man kicked the soldier, you hear resident tell the soldier then say they can't let the man in. If I did miss Scotty, I the stack of my gun him I get in my face. Kick what? And not even me accosting him. I'm tell you, say, if I wasn't a teacher, I would have become a soldier, but God know what I do. You understand what I say? God know exactly what I do. I mean, support soldiers abuse residents and our citizens. Simon, big up yourself, bro. Zane?
Hi, Simon Shy.
And thing, but you can't have residents feel like, yo, man, keep on his soldier. You have that bad things that laugh. Scotty, nobody couldn't stop me from busting your face. Me I tell you the truth, oh God love. I could have TV did their video.
Yeah, kicking them.
Right or wrong, Scotty? Yo, me say you see, and then no, the level of indiscipline in this country you see is going to be the death of us. You understand? And for the record, because I know some tough-head people about, me nah condone no abuse of power by police or soldiers. See? But the truth is, we as Jamaicans make it difficult for police and soldiers to operate within the spaces that they need to do. We are the same ones shielding these criminals, protecting these criminals, and when these criminals turn on us, we say the police them now do nothing. But when the police them did try to do something, we are the same ones, or we were the same ones who were preventing them from trying to do their jobs. But when they reach on the doorstep now, police and government now do nothing and this and that. We have become enablers. We have become protectors. We have become shields for criminals in this country. And we complain, say, the system is always fighting to get the youth stage. And we have become complicit. Zane, and it is going to continue to kill us. But I have a question. Why is INDICOM involved in the investigation of shooting by soldiers? Because they are members of the security forces. Mm-hmm. So if there is a government employee who treats with weapons, be it the JCF or JDF, you are subject to investigations by INDICOM once you are implicated in any shooting incident. That is what the INDICOM Act stipulates. I don't know the finer details of it, but in a synopsis, that is how it is. Adrian, you see? So, yeah, we see regular video where police and man a fight and and people are take a man from police. You understand? And police will go look for criminal and these things will come back to haunt us, man. Jamaica will pay daily, as Renita Adams once said. We have been paying and we will continue to pay.
At a high cost.
Zine, because we continue to be complicit.
A very high cost.
Zine, we continue to be accommodating of crap. Zine, we continue to defend and protect because we are benefiting financially. We continue to turn a blind eye because it not affect us directly. And then the moment you reach from a doorstep, you see? So, I don't know. Is it, I'm always saying, is it that we want a solution to crime or we don't want a solution for crime? It can't, there's no middle ground in another fight here. You understand? It's either you are for law and order or you are not. But in Jamaica, we love the idea of peace. We love the idea of a reduction in violence. But we are not. It's just like that thing that says, who wants change? Everybody put up them hand. Who is willing to change? Everybody hand down. So all we want change, but we are not willing to do anything to facilitate said change that we say we want. You understand? We need good leaders. That is never a thing that is up for question. Everyone needs good leaders. But we also need good citizens. Just You see? So I don't know, yeah, man. I don't know. So me not even bother. Trust me, like me tell you, so I just removed myself from the social media and the media, conventional media and social media for about a week and a half because it's just too much sometimes. And then on social media, every time you go on social media, you see some naked girl, half naked girl, and wind up them behind. And that's a social, like, there's no, there's a next thing. Over on Twitter, I be a naked girl over there. I mean, I want to love naked girl, you know. But me, I say, no, man, then that's too much naked girl.
Oversaturated?
Yeah, man. Too much of nothing no good in a man. Too much of one thing good for nothing. You never hear.
Too much
Over Instagram, be a half naked girl and wind up them behind. Over on Twitter, be a half naked girl.
I forgot go over there.
Eh?
I forgot go over there.
Whoever they got do what?
I shake bottom.
I shake your bottom, man over there now. You see what a man do to each soldier down at the town? Alright. Just to make you know.
You always incited violence against me. I wonder why.
I'm not inside violence, but then it's like you walk Romy, brother, me I tell you, me love the ladies even, brother. Like, but me I tell you, say, bro, like, it's just like every girl I'm not saying every girl. Most of the young girls them these days, they just feel like if you not shake your bottom and your breast on Instagram, there's no life. You understand? It's just like everybody just seek attention.
That's true.
TikTok is the next thing. TikTok is of the devil.
You mean because some of the content on TikTok?
Brother.
I'm not having that, so I don't know. I told you what happened to me with it once and I just deleted it.
Me tell you how I go up on TikTok. See, I go up on TikTok for page a few people because the interview them then can't make them stay up on YouTube. So a man do him thing, go so boom, chop up some things, put it on him TikTok page. And it there all about. You understand what I say? So I go cross, man. Go search, man. I make a call so I can comment. So I make link up my G. And the next G round, so link up quick and fast. And then link. I mean, to pressure them, make them know so you are going. I mean, I fight on the things, you know. Zane, but that's something here. It's a lot of work and sacrifice and put in it and a lot of time. And I appreciate if you make the interview them stay up on YouTube. See, you see? And thing. Yeah, so I saw me end up cross, but me not go back from then time. But if I see a next video like I teach them thing, I go link a G, you see? And I just feel it. But the TikTok thing is rough, brother. Teeth so like a man of God. No man, as me I say, I understand so them say when we're young we do things and you understand what me I say, it is just it reach a stage now where 8 in every 10 young lady and woman, because one big woman.
That's why me tell
brother, me black couple people off of my Instagram. Big woman. Cause initially when them follow you, everything balance and all of a sudden I be a half naked picture why not them behind and then me I said then like me know you as a big woman. That's something know you. You understand? One black man. And Scotty, you know me. You know say me love. You know me very well.
You love them a little too much?
No, man. You can't love a girl too much. There's no such thing. God never make you feel love girl too much. You just love girl. No. You know me, I appreciate the fear of sex. You understand? But say, brother, I mean about go cross it. I have a next good thing when you open your Instagram page, you see that reel something there and recommend 3 reels to you. Every 3 reel, a half naked girl or naked girl that shake up them body and them breasts and a wine and all of them sitting there. And me I say, yo brother. And the young people them now understand that these things, the moment you post it online, no matter you couldn't delete it from now till thy kingdom coming or gone away. And practically every employer, so them name, yeah. I check your social media history these days, you know, man. See? Most a girl, them new thing, you know, they have 2 pieces of tape on their nipple. That new thing out there, you don't know that style there? Nah, man, you don't know what I'm going, man. It's style,
So
brother.
just tape
There's
the
a eye the
nipple.
nipple, yeah. Then there's
Okay,
a eye the
yeah.
nipple. Your rest of breast alright, but your nipple is
No one need to
sacred.
see your nipple.
Yo, you say it come with age, James. But you have young ladies out there who are being exactly that, young ladies, bro. So while you gonna say that, you have many mature young ladies out there who just now get caught up in the hype. And me I say yes, use a social media, share your posts and thing. But God man, it's like a some blue movies channel them mad, brother. Yeah, I tell you. Bro, look, got that. You have people that are posting sex life on social media these days, you know. Whether it's an artist I look at buzz or thing. People been on sex life on Instagram for a minute, you know.
Really?
Alright, you don't even know what I'm going about here, you know. Scotty, we in a trouble,
Live
you know.
sex?
Then if I say sex life, no more live sex. We in a trouble, you know. We in a trouble, man. I was a popcorn, sir. And we in a trouble long before popcorn, sister.
So
I rather remain lifeless and boring.
And the trouble with that again, you know, saying a deep the word there. I do it.
Brother,
Cover.
brother. Me worried, me I tell you the truth.
Oh, no need. Oh,
Zane, me concerned, highly concerned. Can I say,
but sir,
Scotty,
we
when you
would
see a
have
man
had-
like me who love a girl, them just upset about it, you must know say thing them on a different level.
no, but we would have had discussion and we are saying, sir, society got two dogs. We don't read a
Brother,
problem.
dog no want it. You ever feed a dog and you walk in front of the dog, they don't even want it, brother.
Sir, we don't read a problem. We
See,
didn't know that.
You know one of the nicest things, let me talk about it. You see more time, let me tell you the sexiest girl them. You see girl them was sexy in a clothes and a tight are sexiest girl them. You know some girl now so interest where yo, like they never try sexy and then just sexy so. Then just a sexy a go. So a sexy girl them. Yeah, some woman if they're in a panty and brassiere alone, they don't feel like they're sexy, brother. That not appealing to me no more, bro. You
The
understand?
more, you hear the key
Yeah,
phrase?
then me I tell you what me did know, me can't tell you
No
what me
more.
did there.
That is why at some point, persons like you would have.
Me not take no blame for that. Me not take no blame for that because I was always no. Me not. Let me tell you why me not take no blame for that. I have always been attracted to the ladies.
Let me see. Let me go through my mind so me know.
I have always been attracted to the ladies. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So don't try even me not take no blame. You understand? What me I say is this is it thing look good.
Gone too far.
It thing naked. It thing not have no clothes.
Because-
I want me to say, let me go back to that point then. A woman who is sexy without even trying, she put on her nice little sundress and she just nice sun and you know what I mean? She not have nothing up under her body jaw around her so and squeeze up her, you know what I mean, her front like and then sitting there and the whole her breasts are show, the swell of her breasts are show and that is sexy. If a woman can pull off that, then she's a real sexy woman. She don't even naked for drawing her attention.
But I'm saying society it's gone, not us. It's gone already.
Boy,
And that's where we have the issues coming in.
I
But-
don't.
I just hear some big people too, and I just like you can't just say young girls, isn't it?
I'm not just young, but Scotty, I told you that some big woman. I tell you something, I know some big woman. Like me
As
know
a
you
big
when you was a
people.
big woman. Me know you as a big woman. Then me not understand. But everybody a compete. You understand? Like you say likes and views, and you know the worst thing about it. It's not like some of them a make some money off of some views. Like a teacher, then just want likes and views. Them want validation. Look here, man. Me not love you. Me not tell you the truth what God love. God know. You understand? I'm here find a nice wife and Chelsea find a nice husband. And me I pray. Me I take it to the Lord in prayer.
You better.
Because
Better.
me I want some good grandchildren.
Oh, you want grandkids, so?
Then what you mean? Then I want me I get sweetie and then sit them. Put them to bed on these things and what you mean?
Fancy that?
Eh?
That's your
And
plan.
send go for me tea and these things.
Into your shoes and your socks and everything.
So, look here, man. We have to go put it in prayer. That means that a praying man, you know, we have to go pray. Me I tell you. Can't say it, boy. But as me always say still, I think you still have more good than bad in the society. There are more young ladies who are focused on, you know what I mean, remain ladylike than those. It's just that you see them one day more readily. You understand? You tend to see negativity quicker than positivity in the country. You understand? You have some nice young men who are focused on them thing and build them thing and balance them thing. Chelsea still safe, man. I'm here safe, but boy, rough.
No, Richie, I don't go to road naked.
You understand? And thing. Ladies who come like Fern Gully, turns and curves. Ready for work, the grandkids. I follow. I'm blessed to the grandkids.
I won't lie. I wear the occasional, well, all of my pants then tight, but they have to be tight. I have no choice.
It look like when you get a son and start get warning. Warning from who, James, man? That be that one nice safety.
I'm not going overboard. I'm not
Yes, me.
But
But
I'm
me move.
overboard. There are people who tell me, say, no.
Then me go tell you if you go take that off. What do you mean? You know,
Yes?
come in and keep my secret over there. Yeah, sir. The men they know like Maxi just and decent too. Where is it? Rosie. So I look at dress or just fit some type of way. You understand? And sway some kind of way. You know the day. Joke, yeah. Right. So watch out. Rogue JPs. Apparently they end about, you understand? Apparently some JPs on the thing in a business like. You see?
Yeah.
You have to pay for your service like. You know? And thing. So Rogue JP resigns following Sunday Gleaner expose. So Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has revealed that a rogue Justice of the Peace has resigned following a Sunday Gleaner expose. This week, the Sunday Gleaner reported that JPs in several parishes have been charging fees for their services and lying in letters of recommendation they write for complete strangers. Yeah, man, we know him from, I'm a star boy, man. Yeah, son. He used to come to church and then sit there. We know him from a Jericho Basic School and these things. But Chuck said following an investigation by his ministry, one of the rogue JPs surrendered his seal and he is urging the others to do likewise. The minister was speaking on Thursday following a commissioning ceremony for 48 new JPs for the parish of St. James. He has also declared that there are no plans to allow for JPs to be financially compensated for their services. According to Chuck, this would facilitate corruption. The minister was responding to a comment by Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn that the position of a JP is not a money-making venture. Minister, is there any plan by policymakers to amend the legislation so that JPs can get payment or charge for their service? Llewellyn asked. No, Chuck answered vehemently. From as far back as 2015, some JPs have claimed that their cost to deliver services leaves them with no choice but to seek compensation for tasks such as certifying documents. Meanwhile, Chuck spelled Chuck CHICK. Meanwhile, Chick said that the National Identification System will ease some of the required services now administered by JPs. What do you say? To pay or not to pay? Yay or nay?
Right. So like the stamps or whatever they use, they get those?
Yeah, man, at the parish council, I think the custos are the mayor. Somebody give them, the Ministry of Justice, something. Right,
Then
and them
I
buy.
don't think so. I think for me, growing up, the JP was somebody where, like, it's a prestigious.
You respect
post.
them, man. It's a position of the command respect. That is how I know them to be.
Correct.
And they intervene in disputes and
In the
you know what I mean. They
communities
give
or
local
whatever,
counseling and all of them something there.
And this comes back again to Mr. Williams to where we're saying that society has moved away from that. But for me, compensation, no. I think once the resources that they use are allocated to, are given to them, no, the thing says something is a service,
It's a voluntary thing.
voluntary service, yeah.
So you know, think a stipend should be afforded to them.
Really?
No?
I believe though that if you know
Yeah, buy a JP a drink.
I believe that personally, I don't have a problem with saying, I appreciate the service you provide. I just like coming and give you bills and say go buy a soda.
You will give
I
me this
appreciate
and
the
my
service.
soda. Okay.
I really don't buy you one water, man. Stop going, sir.
Yeah, okay, alright, Scotia, I heard.
But for them to be paid, I don't. But if you can show me those reasons, I would be willing to look at it and maybe change my mind.
The DPP at that same thing said that she has spoken to the police in lieu of when these matters are reported, investigation should be done and files prepared and submitted. So I know. I remember there have been cases where JP I'll rent space in all bus park and them places and just run business.
Run me.
Yeah, man.
But the JPs that maybe I'm bad lucky then. Because the JPs that I have interacted with, if them don't know you, sir,
they're not
they're
signing.
not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not signing the picture, they're not doing it. And they'll tell you, the ones that I have interacted with, they'll tell you up front, I don't know you like that. The last JP that I really got is because I got to know him through the school.
Simply put, so if you buy a man a drink of corruption, that's same, you know.
I think so. I am not of that opinion.
Toss me, not all notary public here charge a fee. Same, notary public here charge and fee, and some don't, but they don't need to know you, or then just sign you up from your link them. The JP, they let me know now sign a thing for you if they don't know you. I can't tell you that.
If they don't know you, I mean, I wonder, like you said, what we know just
So,
bad looking.
Man, so if we get rid of JPs, yeah, sir.
The JPs that I know, Cookie Mama, seriously, the JPs that I know, they are
Look here,
not signing.
we go to JPs, we go to not JPs. I've gone to a JP. And him like we live in the same community, but me never live in there long. You understand? Like me know him son and him son and my brother and thing. But him not know he never see me. He say nah sign nothing. I have to find one JP who know me like. You understand? So
Yeah, they tell you they're not writing the recommendation because they don't know you.
some drink money bigger than others. So corruption indeed. You apply, say a man give him 15,000 US to go buy a drink.
That's a lot of things, sir.
That's a lot of drinks, you understand? So, Alright, my teacher friend, let me gauge up on the streets. Education Minister fighting C6 or CXC's decision not to push back exams.
I saw that.
So, Education Minister Anti-Faval Williams has written a letter requesting an urgent meeting of CARICOM's Council for Human and Social Development following an announcement by the Caribbean Examination Council that this year's exams will not be pushed back. CXC's Public Relations and Marketing Officer, Folian Tate, has said the exam schedule was determined following agreement at its council meeting in December 2021, and an adjustment would destabilize the regional consensus. But speaking at the inaugural installation sermon at the National Youth Advisory Council of Jamaica on Friday afternoon, the education minister made it clear the Jamaican government would be fighting that decision. Look here, we need a national exit exam for high schools. Argument done. You understand? Because the truth of the matter is that outside of the Caribbean, where CXC carry go, like, if I not see yourself, like, it's a Caribbean thing. So what, just do a Jamaican thing. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know, but make a continue. Because every year we have CXC in a some problem.
From Bangaran.
Something or another. You see? And not just since COVID, and long before COVID. You see me? So I could continue. But watch her. She revealed that she has written to Kay McConney, who is the new Minister of Education in Barbados and the chair of COSAD, alongside me read out look while, asking for an urgent meeting. The meeting, she said, would give the government a chance to present our case to them as to why we believe the exams, the dates, should be pushed back. She added that she would be advocating strenuously that CXC restore accommodations that have been made last year for students sitting exams. Mrs. Williams noted that students in Jamaica and across the region have been significantly affected sorry, by COVID-19 pandemic and should be given more time to prepare for the exams and complete their SBAs. While the CXC has said students who are not prepared can defer their exams to another sitting, Mrs. Williams argued that this option alone is not enough. So the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination CAPE are scheduled for May 2 to June 10. So them supposed to start like next week, like
Yeah, man,
week after
agrees the
next.
4th.
No, that a CAPE.
Oh, no, CSEC agrees the 4th.
Okay, CSEC agree. Okay, cool. While students will sit the Caribbean Secondary Examination Certificate CSEC from May 2 to June 3. So the Jamaica Teachers Association has described CXC's decision not to push back its exams as disturbing. JTA President Winston Smith pointed out that the current batch of students have been the worst affected by the pandemic since. They have been out of school for approximately 80% of their CXC years, meaning grades 9 through to 11. We are hoping that collectively we can press home to the examining body that if we are really serious about education and looking to empower students, that we must provide them with a fair chance of success, he asserted. Yeah? So, Jaja, CXC is a scam, brother. I want to give them back every single subject when me ever get, cause them is and have been of no use to me. I have always said CXC is a money-making venture, like most things are, you understand? And yeah, being a part of the system for a long time, I have seen many instances that indicated to me that CXC is just about making some money. CXC is not really business with the end user. You see me? Imagine when give back CXC every subject. No, this kind of old, but you know, cold. And, well, it kind of cold coming out yet. Well, as I say, I kind of remove myself from social media and mainstream media recently for a bit. So, I want even know. The Ministry of Education, full place there, was raided by MOCA and electronic devices of senior officials seized. I don't know if they've done peruse the electronic devices, but when I hear dark back at it, you know. You understand? On the camera, no.
Hold on, the teacher, before you reach down this side. You're gonna back up this side.
Yeah, man. We love it up here.
Question: were they initially when they met, were they promised that the examinations would be pushed back?
No, they
There was
didn't.
a possibility.
I don't know the details of the meeting, but they had agreed that in December of 2021 that the dates as they are now would stay. So I don't know why then. I don't know if representation was made then to have some adjustments made. You understand? I'm not privy to that, so I don't know. Is it?
Because in my experience, the deferral don't work.
No, deferral don't make no sense. It makes no sense.
It
The
is a
youth for do the
cycle.
exam the year when they for do the exam. If they not do it that year there, a whole heap of things can happen, you
Deferral
understand?
don't work. If they're pushing back the dates, fine. But I would never recommend the deferrals.
The fight is later, I think. As this I say, get a high paying skill, people. Boy, this, brother, true words have never been spoken. Remember that. You understand? Because I skill people them like this. And them man they make you all that money. You understand?
Good night, yes, I saw you saying good night. How are
Them
you,
man they
man? I
have
hope
many
you're
properties and high-end motor vehicles
well.
and
You know about this. They're so wicked.
man a clean them dog teeth and them sitting there. You understand? Garden and them things.
Yes, don't respond to him.
You know, never there when days I tell people about me acquire how much property and they sit there like so
If they are doing back good justice.
yeah man, they say that is fear, all is fear, love and war, man.
Yes, I'm on your side, though.
Oh, as always, that's how you know your friends. Nationwide News understands that, and as I said, this is a little bit oldish. I think it's about a week and counting now. That the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency MOCA raided the offices of the Education and Youth Ministry on Monday that's about 2 Mondays ago, and seized electronic devices belonging to several senior officials. Teacher forehead shine, and shining up is all that camera. Long story, but alright, allow me fired. So it is understood. Well, it understood Mocha's officers took possession of the devices in relation to a wide-ranging investigation which is underway at the ministry. Officials at the Favour Williams-led ministry were tight-lipped as to the reasons the anti-corruption agency has taken an interest in the devices. Then I can't tell you. Corruption. You understand? Mocha officers reportedly turned up at the ministry's Hero Circle offices and they took several laptops and other communication devices. Our sources say among the laptops seized are those belonging to senior officials in the education and accounts sections of the ministry. Nationwide News directly put the question of the seizure to the ministry's acting permanent secretary Maureen Dyer. However, she declined to name the officials but confirmed that her ministry is the scene of an active investigation. Our sources, as in nationwide sources, say the investigation is partly linked to the Career Advancement Program CAP. But the investigation reportedly covers several areas of the education portfolio. Remember when they have CAP and they make one next CAP and beside CAP? Yeah. That are the peak of the CAP. That's a CAP peak. Our news center sought a response from the education minister. And Minister Mrs. Williams noted that investigations were ongoing and in the interest of allowing that to proceed without interference, ministry officials would be unable to make any further comments on the matter. Now, despite being pressed, neither women were willing to name the individuals who had their devices taken by the anti-corruption agency. And nationwide sources say the ministry officials are reluctant to confirm names because this may adversely affect public confidence in the individuals who are said to lead critical portfolios in the ministry. More cousin of investigation, Oreth Dunkley, confirmed that in the course of an ongoing investigation, it had taken several electronic communication devices at the ministry. He, however, declined to name the individuals to whom they belonged. Cap hat, weatherman hat, which one? I am not responding to him, Scotty.
Right, yes, do not respond. Be the bigger person. He doesn't know how to do that.
That sounds like a community service. Yo, man, them bill one next cap here, man. Tell you where that.
No, where's cap now? Where's cap now?
Somebody still out here, you know?
That's right.
It completely?
Well, it seems to have been integrated in general school.
Oh, okay. I don't know. But then say them take some computer, so I wait for your offer. Serial rapist pleads guilty to multiple sexual crimes and burglary. So gym instructor Chadine Harris, who was accused of raping and terrorizing women in a string of sexual attacks in Portmore, St. Catherine, has pleaded guilty. Harris, who is 28 years old, pleaded guilty to multiple counts of sexual crimes and burglary before the St. Catherine Parish Circuit Court. The gym instructor, who was captured in 2019, pleaded guilty to 6 counts of rape, 4 counts of grievous sexual assault, 9 counts of burglary and larceny, and 1 count of wounding with intent when he stabbed one of his victims. He will be sentenced on June 24th. Investigators reported that from 2014 to 2019, Harris targeted single women by breaking into their homes and sexually assaulting them at knife point. In one of the attacks, a bank employee was stabbed multiple times when she resisted. Harris is scheduled to return to court on April 19 to answer to a new sexual offense charge. He is also set to stand trial on May 18 before the gun court after one of his victims reported that he used a gun in the attack against her. I want big old brother with tick differently.
In a gym, some of them say.
So he's easily overpower a girl and brother. Such man from the videos. Yeah, I think there were some videos with you, Richie.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I think there are a few videos one at a time.
Oh.
Or the
But
one
that
who love
means he
send
was
certain times of closing. You know, I don't think he was the one who just smelled the underwear them on the line, but I think there were 1 and 2 videos of him circulating, CCTV footage like, and things.
That's crazy.
So
So like him,
him
say he
peak.
was the gym as him hunting ground.
So it then looks up, so probably them girls
Mm-hmm.
are clients, are members of the gym and thing, and I guess him study them, because as a be a single woman, him target.
Okay.
As in single women where
Yeah,
no
man.
man are there in yard like that.
Maybe they by themselves, yeah.
Our man come and go. The visiting relationship like. Uh-huh.
So why you say that?
What me said so?
Yeah.
What you mean? That's what me say
Fair enough.
everything.
And you take a little on that over there.
No man, no,
Okay.
nothing like that man.
Okay.
Yeah man, some of the women them just have a breeze here a while cause we as man no easy, you know, stress them like.
Correct.
So sometimes I just want breeze, man, I not easy with that.
That
You
is
see?
true.
Eh, means I fear you, you know.
Most days.
Cause someone will not grow good. True.
Correct.
So this late too, but you know there was another stabbing at one high school, the Peterfield High School, where
Saw that one.
a schoolgirl was stabbed during a fight. The accused this child was released from hospital, and the accused charge. I think that charge was recently. I think I saw an article like a day or two ago, where it was reduced to. I think is
And I wouldn't with intention yet.
no, it got lower than that.
Right.
Yeah, man. I think that was the initial charge, and then it has since been reduced further. Grievous bodily assault. I don't remember. I don't want to misquote anybody. Romeo, big up yourself and your family. Hope all is well. So, Auntie. This all. So, this I came across an article and I think my viewers would be very interested in this thing. Politicians must go to prison too, not just resign, says analyst. Because in Jamaica we have a resign culture, you know. You understand? No matter what, no matter how much money involved, politicians just resign and all is well in hell.
That's true.
Many Jamaican citizens accept a level of corruption, says O'Brien Chang. You hear that? And as we were having a conversation about something recently, where we said that in Jamaica, we're very forgiving. If a person have name and fame, we're very forgiving. You understand? And the look man when I name and fame, crucify man and give us Barabbas man. Yeah man, Barabbas so on. You understand? When politicians are caught in scandals and compromising situations, they may resign and offer some semblance of accountability, both individually and on the part of their political party. However, some analysts believe that even when politicians walk away from the political arena, the scandals would have already stained the image of the local politics and added to the widely believed notion that all politicians are corrupt. Political commentator Dr. Paul Ashley said that a resignation is necessary but not sufficient. There must be more than resignation. If there is prima facie evidence that an individual stole money or misappropriated money, mere resignation means little or nothing. Many individuals, if they could merely resign and get to keep, say, US $10 million, they would gladly do so. What do you mean? Then if me can resign and hold on for 10 million US and everything correct, then I just resign. Then what that mean? The perception that all politicians are corrupt is one that is borne out by the evidence of misappropriation of unexplained wealth accretion. Yeah, I think that's how that's pronounced. Ashley told the Sunday Observer that when found in breach of the law, politicians should be incarcerated to send a message of fairness. Green gungo man. You understand? With some, I don't even know what yet. But probably some nice garlic fried chicken and some barbecue pork. I know some man come out with some pork, you know, but that's a phone business. I don't know what I have to do. I never do me no. You understand? I not got pen. Speaking about that, just see the video the other day where them tie up the youth on the pole naked, say him did a sexy pic them.
No.
Yeah, man, me have a summer, man. Who does delete this today? Because I don't keep anything up on my phone. You know. Next thing, me say me all want left you never search my phone. And then, and they find all that. First thing, if me I go anywhere like that, me I wipe my phone. Now I'm fool. Because it shows so much people send me so many different things that sometimes I don't get to see. Yeah, son. Because when I set up my phone, I know, you know, it can't come on my phone. Yeah, send me the message, you know, and me see. But it can't save on my phone, you know, unless me save it on my phone, you know, brother. Me not play that, Scotty. Remember, some people send me everything, you know, brother. And that is son and them moon, you know.
See what them say?
And more time, because I miss some messages because them pile up and I don't. You understand? And you can't catch me napping like that. No, because you know the master teacher might want to see this. So they send him, but sometimes I miss it. Can't come back in a message. I'm at a regular, you know, there's so much message, me just clear my WhatsApp. You understand? Just clear everything and start from scratch. So that gone too. You have to be wise and keep your eyes open. Which one am I there around here, sir? You there for a person? Yeah. People should be going to jail. There must be some attempt to get back ill-gotten gains. Yeah, man. Forfeiture of assets. Those so-called misappropriations must be made criminal offenses. I am not into the resign and give up this or that. It is criminal, he lamented. I like him. And there must be a sanction that you never return to politics. Yes. Politics done with it and done with it. Go to jail. You can't thief, then go away, and then come back to thief again.
Which is right.
Listen to this. No, I shall return.
Correct, sir. Correct. I don't say anything.
Did say, I shall return. And the man return. A PJ did say, man, after the Shell Waiver scandal, man. The man return, come be Prime Minister, what you mean? Then time them I did Minister of Finance, I think. If memory serves me correctly. Was? I think so. Yeah, man.
I don't think you should be allowed to return. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
You resign, breeze out a little bit, and then come right back.
Just like how I tell you, say, watch and see. You see, in next cabinet, Andrew Weekly going to be a cabinet minister. I tell you, I want to believe me, I want to watch and see. I want to take me for fool, you know. That's such a big fool boy, you know. I tell you, the don't move. You know. I'll be a local committee, weekly a company, you know. Every week is a new committee, you know. You understand me? I say, one committee to a next committee, and then by the time you know in a parliament. I mean, still in parliament, you know, because I'm a member of parliament, but mean in the cabinet. You understand? Good as I get back in energy portfolio.
Are these committees building blocks?
Yeah. It is like, oh, we are take time and sneak him in back in I thing, man.
You get used to it.
You get used to him and see. Brother, me tell you, I do politics and change in the college, and I don't remember, you know.
You get that trick.
One whole year, I do politics and change for social studies, because that's one of the course at the time. You understand? He is on, you see, the committee who is trying to make Portmore a parish.
Yeah, man, I know he's on that.
Independent committee, and independent some other committee. He's a committee member. You understand? A man of committees. Committees of men. But watch out, see. Let me tell you about it now. Listen to it about that. Let me move on. No, I shall return. There should be no return. It is a one-way ticket out. That is the end of your political career. Now, political commentator Kenyatta Powell told the Sunday Observer that when politicians resign, unfortunately, the damage has already been done. The damage is already done. Anthony B. Link up. You understand? There's a certain level of corruption that is endemic to our system and to our politics. And I think the average Jamaican is quite aware of that. And then every 5 years, they go wind up them behind in orange and green and jump and chuck and yam, curry goat and chicken and one drink of rum and get 5 bills and 2 chicken and 1 zinc and then good for 5 years again. They're not easy about it and watch it. And I think that a lot of Jamaicans have already lost confidence in the system. And they have lost confidence in the political leaders, he said. Yeah, man, I'm watch business, man. No better pour, no better barley around there. You know, them no different, you know.
No better what?
No better pour, no better barley. You never hear that saying that yet?
I'm not something.
Alright, you correct it then, Miss Corrector.
No, I'm just your first me here, sir?
No, not that you say. You say I don't saw you go.
You say I so big do it.
So you want big bump on your chin.
I'm in love.
I know.
I love bump. You gotta tell me how can
Yeah,
I love
but
me?
a normal man, but all I know, a normal somebody that love you. I know
Then
you love.
somebody, I
Somebody
know
where you
someone
love,
loving me. I know of someone loving me. Do
and
you
you
have
love
a
that person there too.
Most definitely.
Oh, yeah, fool. Which part would they say, you know? The article is long, you know.
Busy. You know how to do it today.
Me I done it, you know.
Link
You
me
understand?
tomorrow.
You say left it till tomorrow?
Link me tomorrow.
Link it
I'll
tomorrow.
keep an eye on them.
Powell noted that one indication of such is a disengagement from elections. If you look at the last 4 general elections in a row, voter turnout has declined significantly. Voter turnout went from 61.46% in 07 to 37.85% in 2020. Earlier this month, Philip Palwell, 6th-term member of Parliament for Kingston Eastern and Port Royal, lamented the decline in voter turnout and suggested that there's a trust deficit of all the people that said, you know, Philip Palwell. And Philip Palwell have the biggest trust deficit out here, you know. But I don't trouble nobody. Internet I get shaky. Eh?
How dare you?
What do you mean? Philip Paul will have more corruption beside him, more scandal beside his name than I have girlfriends, you know. I don't have a lot of girlfriends. I have one now, but there's a few and him have more scandal beside his name.
Than you have girlfriends.
Right.
I am worried then. I thought I am worried.
You see? It's always afraid, you know. I didn't go and testify against you.
You right, Leverage?
That's why I'm gonna tell people things, you know.
Which boy I wrote this?
Yo, stop digging my face for the stream, man. You understand? It's unprofessional to do so.
My apologies.
Plus, it's ugly. Alright, so make me move on. Right. Eh? That's why I have to keep you young, you know. You understand?
So, I said about in our Oliver interview.
The article is too long, I can't have to go part. Basically, it's a politician for go to prison when them do foolishness. You understand?
And don't resign and come back.
As I said that about picking your face, you know, when they just start and thing, me used to, you know, all the bus bumping on my face when the people, them video, brother. Yeah, man, me not even conscious of me I do it.
You're not consciously doing it.
Don't conscious of me I do it, brother. And then I don't think I was confident and camera either, and probably I just fidget and thing. And I see a couple comments about it. And I say, oh, I'm not to do that, so I saw me tap.
I wish man this Sima asked if it was the man who was tasting the
panties and line. Right, Sima, somebody asked a question already, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it's him. You understand? But I don't think so still. I think the other video, he's in some different clips, but not those one. I chose Scotty one man, did I go around and smell panty and I take panty line.
I find it funny. Oh, it's Sima asked the question. It's the man
who was tasting the panties online.
What, Sima?
Yeah, but the article is long still, but it's a very good discussion on the thing. You understand what I say? Politicians, when them get caught up in them thing, them resign and everything good after that. You see?
Take a break and then come back. That's what normally happens.
Take a break and come for the cake.
Take a break and come.
4-tier topsy-turvy chocolate cake.
Once you do something wrong, you shouldn't just resign. And that's only fair because in any other profession, any other post, you do something wrong, the full book is thrown at you. So why in this particular position is it that when you do something that is wrong or illegal per se, you are allowed to resign, and if you are at, well, you can't even say age because right now age no play for them.
A politician they write the book.
Yeah, but you just step away for a while and then, whoops, as you say, it is slowly sneaked up on you till you not even realize, you know what I'm saying, come back.
Mm. But you see, I'm telling you, sis, we're very forgiving because a couple months down the road, after them shirt we have on and we have what full fist and then I saw me not even how you go. I saw? You understand?
Kiss
And a
and
shake bell and all sort of sitting.
I think that's
So you know
it.
say we have a problem.
New party 1 hour.
You know UIC 1 hour.
No.
Them is a Christian, good as a cross. Man. I don't know. I'm just
Eh.
Somebody in here good as no man. Politicians are the ones throwing their books at it. Them not throw the book at themselves. And then me a fling so, me not fling so in myself.
Me an idiot, sir.
You understand?
I think I got your one eye.
Speaking about corrupt politicians. Yeah, I'm here now.
Here. What do you got there?
Clear them out. Lewin champions campaign to purge force of crooked cops.
Oh,
A form. Wait no. You don't have a script. Me not send you a script.
me eye go. Age catch up on me.
A former commissioner of police has called for a radical shake-up in law enforcement to reining violent crime, with a part of the constabulary articulated as crucial to boosting public confidence. Discover them, clean them out, and clear them out, Rear Admiral Hardy Lewin said in an appeal to rid the force of criminal collaborators. An individual who has the power of constable is among the most powerful persons of Jamaica, and a criminal with the powers of a constable is among the most dangerous in Jamaica. Lewin, also a former head of Jamaica's army, remarked during a policy summit on justice held under the auspices of rights group Jamaica for Justice in New Kingston. Lewin's lobby comes against the backdrop of worrying levels of contamination or infiltration of the guardians of security by criminals. A concern laid bare in accounts of police and military complicity in the ongoing Klansman Wandon gang trial, and revelation last week, as I said, the article is a little bit old, of a police-laden gang based in Clarendon. The alleged police gang ringleader is Constable Tafari Silvera, who was arrested in June of 2021. Silvera and two other civilians, Christopher Robinson and Mark Bennett, are currently facing charges of conspiracy to murder in connection with a plot to kill a suspected gang member accused of being a police informer. Several other cops have been linked to the criminal organization. From the recent incident, my takeaway from it is a positive one, because there is no secret that there are criminals in the force. They did not join the force as criminals. They morphed, he said. I'm not sure about that. Lewin's call for increased accountability was echoed by Anthony Harriott, director of the University of the West Indies Institute of Criminal Justice and Security, who advocated for a re-examination of the police force with an external oversight and accountability body that can facilitate the participation of individuals affected by social injustice. Like those issued by the Independent Commission of Investigation, Harriott believes that reports on corrupt and criminal cops must be made public in order to be transparent with society, and so on and so forth and them things.
Question though. When joining the JCF, you do when name the one you have a tongue always for criminal record.
If you do a criminal record, I suspect, so I'm not sure.
And they will have to do background checks, correct? You know, just go do the test, do the fitness and get in.
I don't know the process in there. As a matter of fact, as I said that now, I probably should do a
what is the
video on the
process?
process. Interesting. I write that down, you know. It's a good look of
I would hope.
Somebody in there know, man. Sarge normally there. And Addict, but we not see none of them tonight.
Finar knows, I'm sure.
They would be able to shed some light on that.
Finar, what's the procedure?
I think I think what is needed is a counterintelligence to catch crooked cops and soldiers. Yeah. I also think they do lie detection tests. I think they do that now for truth to finale. I don't know the entire process. There's a YouTube channel with a police officer. I think at the same Sarge, where he details different aspects of the force and processes and such. So we probably need but I think I'll probably do a video as well. In the future. But I want a real police and then something. A real thing. See?
I'll ask someone.
Okay. Ask.
Okay.
Who this over Instagram? What them do over Instagram? I say? Them are like something. Jesus Christ.
Are you gonna shoot about it?
No man. I post some screenshots from some of the comments them.
Oh, I saw that.
And they like every single one time. So we have been speaking about Sarge Stark would be more knowledgeable. Yes, Finar. He would definitely be. Stepdad sentenced to life in prison for killing child after mom ended relationship. So we have covered that story that he pleaded guilty, and the whole story from the child was kidnapped and murdered and them something. Alright, so you do the test. Then they send you to your school for some documents. Then they send to the police station in your division for a background check. Plus ask question in your community. Oh, so they do a background check. Okay, and your character. Okay.
All that before you go into training?
Right, apparently. No better Erin, no better barrel, no better pork, no better
That
barrel.
me know if you say.
Yeah,
Not better Erin, no better barrel. That's what I know.
And I assure you that there's one that says no better pork, no better barrel.
Possible.
You understand?
But me not know it.
Okay. You don't know a lot, that's alright.
I'm just tell you what me know.
Right, and me I tell you don't know a lot.
Who said this? Oh, Black Mamba.
So it
No better Erin, no better barrel.
It two away I say something. You look nice though. Your camera hot.
I had a shower.
What I need to come every day. As me tell her, she look good, she freeze up. I don't know what she got now. Girl frozen. Alright, when the girl come back, we see what go on. Yeah. After about a year, they will conclude their background research, then they call you for an interview and then they take it from there. Okay. Hey, she frozen. So, 42-year-old Uchess Rose has been sentenced to life in prison for the 2020 murder of his one-time stepson, Galen Buchanan, who was 8 years old. Rose is to serve 27 years and 10 months before he becomes eligible for parole. He should then get life without possibility of parole. He confessed to the murder after the child's mother ended their relationship. That's why you don't have to tell lie, teach, laugh out loud, boy look good. Which are with it? Yes, Rose had 8 previous convictions. Justice Anne-Marie Lawrence Granger is in handing down the sentence in the Home Circuit Court, said the initial sentence was 34 years to life. However, she granted a 10% discount and deducted a further 2 years and 2 months for her time already served in prison. The judge said Rose did not deserve a 50% discount, although he had pleaded guilty at the first relevant date and described what he did as sickening. Galen's body, with its hands bound, was found on January 23, 2020 in the Kingston Harbour 2 days after he went missing from his father's home. The youngster's mother, Tamara Lewis, had ended an 8-month relationship with Rose shortly before the boy went missing. Rose reportedly tried to strangle Lewis before they broke up. He claimed he was left devastatingly heartbroken and took out his revenge on Lewis's son after he was encouraged by his co-workers. Internet gone. Jaja. As me say, you look good, the thing mash up. Jaja. Oh, I don't know how the heck that happened though. Like, I find that so weird, man. Well, I'm still with what I do. Plug out your router and plug it in back, sis, and see what go on. The stepfather they forget dealt with a prison, you know. Yes, sir. And Scotty made one and I think for address that topic here. Though. So he pleaded guilty. He, you know, as per the laws, he was given a reduction in sentence. But he only got 10%. Encouraged by co-workers, he won the firing squad. So, boy, I don't even know you're impressed, Rosie. I tell you the truth, what God love. 8-month relationship at that. The man say he was left devastatingly heartbroken. You understand? And lured the little boy away in under the guise of buying him ice cream. See? And that was that. Jaja God. There have been, since the reopening of face-to-face classes, a number of incidents of violence among our students, children, and added to that is information being provided by the police that these kids are also now attending pill parties. You see? But who broke his heart? He himself, because of his behavior. And when man like that may cause that line of people, they need to get. That's right. Drugs are also being hidden in resealed snacks. So students have been finding more creative ways to sneak contraband into schools to satisfy their urges for drugs and foster other illegal activities. Among the latest trend is a practice of opening bags of snacks, loading them with contraband and drugs, then resealing them to avoid detection by school administrators. Let me read that again so you don't miss it. Among the latest trends is a practice of opening bags of snacks, loading them with contraband and drugs, then resealing them to avoid detection by school administrators. So the youth them get the snacks, whether eat them out or empty them, put the contraband, whether the drugs or whatever, in the bags and reseal them. Ingenious, you know. And many of them youths are struggling in school, you know, because they use them brain power upon the wrong things in the family. Yeah? Alright, we will continue. This was highlighted in a workshop held by the St. Catherine South Police Division at the Greater Portmore Police Station recently, as they raised the alarm over several issues affecting schools, including an alarming rate of drug use, gambling practices, extortion, sexual activities, teen domestic violence, and the genesis of gang. I'll read that again. They raised the alarm over several issues affecting schools. Issues including an alarming rate of drug use. What kind of rate of drug use? Alarming rate of drug use. Gambling practices, extortion, sexual activities, teen domestic violence, and the genesis of gangs, to include guard rings and insignia and all of these things. In our schools, you know, but we could continue. I don't even know what I'm going to shop, you know. What we are seeing and the trends that we have observed in our schools in terms of contraband and drugs is what is known as the ganja cakes, the drops, and the alcohol-infused gummies. Detective Corporal Damian Hammond, Safe Schools Coordinator for the division, told principals, teachers, guidance counselors, and deans of discipline from more than 25 schools in Portmore. He also pointed to the students' increasing use of a party drug called Molly, something that is being promoted very widely on social media and in many songs in the dancehall space, you know, brother. But I could continue, I digress. A popular rave drug used at nightclubs and music festivals that is of serious concern to law enforcement. There is an emerging drug outside of the school community known as Molly. And so, Scotty, I call back. Hold on then. Yeah, we should actually them say we can bring her in. Young girl, pay your light. Young girl, pay your light.
I'm not the light, I'm my internet because no a shock internet me connect on.
Then the internet that not go rhyme in a song.
Whatever.
You understand? You can't tell me if you build my song. You miss one story me want you to about, you know. And that story of Cyrus, you know, so I will take it from the top again. Peeps, bear with me. Zane, so I'm going to run through it and reach the people. Cops raise alarm over students. Pill parties. Drugs are also being hidden in resealed snacks. So students have been finding more creative ways to sneak contraband into schools to satisfy their their urges for drugs and foster other illegal activities. Among the latest trend is a practice of opening bags of snacks, loading them with contraband and drugs, and then resealing them to avoid detection by school administrators. This was highlighted in a workshop held by the St. Catherine South Police Division at the Greater Portmore Police Station as they raised the alarm over several issues affecting schools, including an alarming rate of drug use. Stream crash, hey Richie. But I don't even know that going, but I don't know. Wow, it touched everybody now, both teacher and Scotty, which internet provider that. How did you sell? I mean, I keep my secret to nobody, you know. You understand? But say, my internet is normally stable, I don't know. I was on Wi-Fi just now instead of hardwired connections. I switch over that, but I don't know. And thing, it's a buffer over here, so. So now you hear me now? It's just a buffer and I go on. It's still a buffer. Connecting stream software. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, now hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you see me now? Not enough video to maintain. So just downgrade the stream. Did you sell? I feel me sell. What happened? So yes, all on peeps, stream was buffer. As the stream crashed there, I don't know who them. I don't know. Scotty bring our bad internet over your side. Oh Lord.
What's that? Who would say that about me? That's not nice.
We ready again? Wanna see the eye? Alright, check your internet nice, Scotty, because you look clean and so I'm wondering what happened. Don't load up the thing, brother.
And I'm going to give up my internet and just work with you, Shaki one.
You know, that is not advisable.
There's one less bill.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The bright light. You don't see a bright light morning,
Brother,
sir?
I'm thing. I know exactly what going on, man. I just mean if you fix it. Yes. Because I have too much things in that shit. But alright. Alright, audio clean teach. Yeah, man. Audio nice. Nice audio.
Like, I don't even know what to say about it.
Alright, we could continue in our shop, you know. You understand? The people that are coming back in our dance. We shall there now. Right, so he also pointed to students' increasing use of a party drug called Molly. And as I was saying, that drug is being promoted widely on social media. Y'all have party name, Molly Party, you know. Well, I don't know, but the name of the party is called Molly.
Okay.
So I am assuming that said drug may be of use in said party. Father Marriott, what go on from all as well? See? So now, he also pointed to the students' increasing use of a party drug called Molly, a popular rave drug used at nightclubs and music festivals that is of serious concern to law enforcement. There's an emerging drug outside of the school community known as Molly, and some of our students are attending what is called pill parties. This is new because formerly you would hear about ecstasy as a party drug, Hammond said, adding that law enforcement was on top of the situation and that the police were currently mulling over strategies to combat this practice. The cops will also be moving to educate students so they will be able to identify these and know what to consume and what to abstain from. St. Catherine's South Police Divisional Commander Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips, who is also a former educator, said it was imperative that schools be on the cutting edge and be able to identify these trends. He noted that today's classroom is a tough environment.
Very much
All who
so.
have ears, let them hear. Adding that given all the changes in technology and things students are now being exposed to, there's a need to lend assistance to the schools. He
Correct.
noted that within the majority of students being out of physical classrooms for roughly 2 years due to the pandemic, there were a myriad of issues to contend with. You have returning to classrooms students who are abused, who lost loved ones, working students. You have students who got themselves involved in lottery scamming and are carrying out some of the gang activities in some of the communities returning to the classroom, Phillips said, noting that having the students return to schools without resocialization can spell, as how much time I use that word to you, can spell, show me there,
I agree with him.
can spell disaster. He suggested that the Ministry of Education develop a special program to resocialize students that should have been implemented from day one of return.
And we went back in.
I am making designated police personnel available to respond to school crisis. Phillips read a list of schools resource officers in the different school
Those still exist?
apparently are them coming back. I know that the ones who were by our place, the female, I don't know what,
I know what you're
and then it was
talking.
replaced by a male, and she was, and then the male, there was an incident,
Okay.
and then he decided that he didn't want to come back here because I think the incident he did not get the support from admin that he thought he should have got.
Oh, okay.
So I think admin was more in support of the student at the time. Because we spoke about it, you understand, and he must show me the vibes and he must say, he never appreciate some things. See, it was before this administrations.
No, man, I know.
Right, so.
Because since this admin, I don't
We
think
not
we
have
had
done,
one.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the, so added to all the things that we as educators were treating with before, these are some of the new things. And I'm saying some of these kids are so ingenious. But,
Sir, they find ways.
yeah, but what I know, the funny thing about that is, many of these ingenious youths who are the ranks, them now perform academically because them use them brain power, the foolishness, brother.
I'm busy.
Them busy as sell black soap or
I'm
incense.
busy. Because I remember when we had that gambling problem. Remember, so they stopped carrying dice because
Right.
once you were held with the dice, it's gambling.
Yeah, you got
They
right.
started to flip the bottle. So that was the new means of gambling. So they keep coming up. So you find out how they are doing it. They come up with a new strategy.
That is how criminals operate. And then the
They
police
come
them
up
onto
with a
one
new
thing, then find the
strategy.
next way. See,
They
that's what they
come
use
up
them
with
at
a
head.
new strategy. And I,
Then
for
call the
me-
ganja cake brownies. Go on, Scotty.
teacher, for me, if me even hear say some youths up my side again, teacher, by me reach halfway, they
Then
hear
take what
say
they
me
say
come.
because some of them look out.
Can't catch them. They have to literally set up a sting operation to
I
catch
saw
them.
no someone now want to catch them, man. Sting them.
Have by you reach halfway, you come, them ear say you come, room clear out, every man a book or write, but they not even know what them are writing on the book. So like they come up with ways where it's like sometimes you feel so tired. It's like you don't win.
Place
And
your
the other day I was
stops.
seriously saying to myself that does it make sense? Because it was a particular day, it felt as if me now make a difference.
Yeah, you tell me, you did explain, you tell
Yeah,
me.
man.
You did,
It a feel like it start feeling as if you know make a difference.
When that feeling they start come over yesterday, sis.
Problem.
It's a rough feeling.
Yeah, man. Feel like you know make a difference.
Yeah, we are ring by your mind finger down, my friend.
I'm mommy ring me, I'm
Yeah,
mother,
man.
so.
Okay. I don't know, I think
Mother,
I practice
the
it.
chain, yeah.
I practice.
So you're troublemaker. You want a finger big stone and box your fire.
I don't advise somebody to do that because I'm a very good stone flinger, you know. Yeah, that's that.
Here's the stone mango tree as a ball.
Regular dog and all of these things. You know, boy, stir up. The amount of stone we fling upon stir up a tree, Reggie.
God should have
I'll jelly me used to try like have a tree, show you my stone flinging serious.
Who does that?
I know jelly me like have a tree, brother, and enjoy a coat. That's what you mean. You can't climb in coconut tree there. So you go up on the hillside, a lone stone. Trying to down a gully there. I tell you that.
Seven do you?
So, boy, it's school thing rough, sis. May I tell you? Well, I don't need to tell you. You understand?
We know.
It rough.
We know
like,
that
it is serious.
it's a jungle out there.
It is seriously rough, brother. And the youths,
Jungle out there.
and as I have said to you so many times, that the first month of the resumption of face-to-face school should have been.
Yes, resocializing.
So even though you're going to run the curriculum parallel, there should be a concerted effort at resocializing these students.
I tell you, we were just so glad to get back in there.
Oh, nothing else no matter, eh?
Yeah, man, we did just glad to say, alright, road with the syllabus. I see that now because as you read the article before where the Ministry of Education is saying that they are not ready. They aren't.
Ministry of Education, you see?
They aren't.
Them is a problem.
Average the 4th of May, they are not ready.
Man, that's too much jelly. Hey, brother.
But it not look so good.
I think I married Scotty married.
But I would think me married. No, I'm single. Talk to me after the year. You say you have to put you out there, you have to let them know what's wrong with you. Where you laugh from?
I'm not trouble here, brother.
You know I'm going to eat cake?
Not really.
Already. You know I'm going to wedding like cake?
I'm not going to eat cake, but they're there.
You know, you would be working. As a mother.
I'm not coming here with him come work.
You're an idiot.
What PS man if you video that? I'm a fool.
But the school thing set away. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope we find a solution that really works. And we're not going to find a solution, a broad-brush solution. We're not going to find that. We have to find a solution that treats with individual schools and individual students. Because it's a wide array of different issues.
It's a rough, that kind of rough resource wise.
It is. But that's what it is. There is no broad brush to fix it. Because, sir, look, pandemic kick in. You have internet, but you just never want to go to class. You have resources, but you just never want to go to class. Me, never have nothing at all. Me might have to go work so that local food could have come in on the table. The solution that treats you now go treat me. And me will go through during the pandemic. I would have gone through physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse. A broad brush can't fix me. It is just like how when these students pop up, as we have students that pop up, you know that February, from pandemic, February is the first we're seeing them. So you have to treat with them individually. Each case, you take it on case by case. Individually, there's no wide scale broad brush to treat with every single problem that we have. You just have to assess each individual problem and see how best we can rectify, fix, amend what we can do for them. Because at the end of the day, sir, they become our problem whether we want to believe it or not.
They are.
Because if we can treat it and fix them here.
If we treat them on the road.
Thank you very much.
And that is one of the principles that guided me back from them time till now. I understand that. Look here. If I can help curve a youth from here, so I one less youth that I forgot probably do sitting on the road, or I go do me sitting on the road. You understand what I say? So exactly. that boy it rough. And then we're not even touching learning loss yet, my God. The learning loss, my God. That will
the
take
learning loss, sir,
at least a decade before we recover from it, man.
Listen me, what we thought it would be, multiply that by 5. That's how bad it is. The learning loss is great. Alright, so I was having a conversation with some of them, right? So I said, when we were online, I can call the names of the persons who are constantly there, consistently online coming to class today. So let me start paying for one and tell them what you did there. Mister Miss, you know realize more day me log on. But by me log on, my friend then come for go play football, so I'm gone. One next look one, say him log on, but him have a shop at the house. Him parents have a shop.
So I'm available for the
So
shop.
by him log on, him have to sell a shop. And in log on, him mother send him go wash plate. Log on, him mother send him go sweep up yard. Him have to take care of him baby brother, do this for him baby sister. So, so I didn't learn not one job on door. Nothing
Me no
in
be
there.
laugh, me no.
It's true, cause you see anything I did between September and December,
You have to run it back.
especially for the grade 10 syllabus, after running back, me not
I
ask
know,
you.
man.
Me know
I
that
know.
you're fuck.
I know, I
Me
know,
have
I
to go
know.
active first and run it back. You make it, sir.
Rough.
But, no,
Rough
we have to find
bad.
a solution.
Eh.
Some have to be done.
Boy, and here we go on. All stakeholders involved have to be involved if you get
Have
what
to
me I say.
play their part. Thank you
It is
very
now
much,
it is now
sir.
back the onus is now back on teachers, but the truth is that it really and truly starts from the war master. You see me?
So all of we have to play the part.
So I don't even know. I mean it sound very
All of we.
miserable though. What time?
All of we have to play a part. You can't sit down and just say, well, a teacher to do it, or a ministry to do it, or a parent to do it. All of us, all the key stakeholders, we have to pull the weight.
Jamaican parents have turned the schools into their dumping grounds for children with developmental and intellectual deficiencies.
To an extent, I agree. But for the life of me, sir, and this is me personally speaking, and I
Why? Sister
understand
fan.
that sometimes we live in denial. And you refuse to believe that this is what your child is. But at some point, you have to accept the truth. Now, if I have a child, sir, who is delayed and cannot fit into the regular school system, I am going to seek help for the child. And some parents know that the child is not functioning in the regular school. They can't function for whatever reasons it is, whatever developmental delay or whatever is happening to the child cannot function in the regular school system. And for the life of me, why you don't take the child out, find where the child needs to be to help the child to get to the stage that he or she needs to be. Instead of having them there moving from 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 to 11 to leave. Well, now to 12. And basically, nothing, no value has been added to the child. Because the help that the child need, we're not able to provide it, sir. Remember, we have a classroom of 35, 40. If your child is
I
in
mean,
any way not able to function in there, it's no problem, sir.
one
So I think as parents sometimes, like we really need to just recognize that the child is in need of help and even reach out to the school. Come to the school, explain what you see happening to your child. And yes, I know that the parents work and I know that it is difficult. I know that. But my question is this: if you as the parent don't get the help for your child, who will? Remember now, in this war, you are the shield between the world and your child. So if you not seeking the help for the child, who is going to seek the help? So yes, I know your work. Yes, I know you're busy. Yes, I know it's a lot financially, emotionally, physically. I know. But you are the shield between your child and the big bad world. You have to seek the help that the child needs. Come to the school. The school have what they call ops coach. Talk to the ops coach. Tell the coach say no fees that the child performing, get the child assessed. And then you seek help for the child. But it makes no sense for you to have them there bombarded with all the elements that takes place in the regular school system, and they're not functioning. Get help for them, man. Get the help that is needed, because help is there. Help is there. That is true. As I know of parents who got help for their child, and the child is in a much better space. Yes, it is not as abundant as we would want it to be, but if you are persistent enough, you get the help for your child.
As Kerry is
Um,
saying that, sorry, it's not only a problem in the high schools, it's right across the board.
no man, is right across the board, sir. Right now, we have students at, based on their age, they're at grade 9, grade 10, but based on reading, pre-primer. And me, you know, say that just it can't work. So additional help is needed. I mean, no, people will say, well, the parents themselves, this. I know, but that's what I said. That's why I
Get
said
help.
all stakeholders have to play their part. Every single one of it, including me, because I am a stakeholder too.
You have parents who can't read and them find ways to make them youth get help, miss. I'm certain of. So
Sorry,
I don't know.
100% certain of that. Parents
They,
that can read,
they
but
say
their
a thing
child
or
get the
some.
help.
They say some students live on their own even though the parents live there.
Correct, sir.
True, a word have never
It
been
is the
spoken,
sad
eh?
truth. It is the sad truth. Because sometimes you call these parents and in a sense you did call them, you waste your credit and waste your time. But you did talk to your student and try to find a way for reason with him or her and only find a way forward. Because some of the parents don't make any sense. And that is where the problems going to come in because as I said, we need all stakeholders to remedy the situation.
Make no sense at all.
And if we don't have all stakeholders on board, trouble did it.
Trouble. Alright, so I could move on now, sis, because we can't stream one whole night at about the education system, right? We live it. One story where
I'm sorry that.
kind of bring some emotion to the table from the masses, you know what I mean? Nzinga King, you know that Indicom had
Mm-hmm.
handed down their ruling and the DPP said based on the information, the
No, coach, who is the
investigation.
DPP though?
Parallel willing?
Not DPP. Who is the public defender?
I don't think them appoint nobody yet.
Who was it before?
Arlene Harrison Henry. But, alright, you see, this report was released one day before she demitted office.
Oh. That person a copy problem.
You said that, I didn't.
What may I ask?
I don't know.
May I ask?
But
Because it's
I found it very interesting that it was released a day before she demitting office. Yeah,
Okay.
like I don't know if that is when it was ready or if it was ready before.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
just saying.
it was ready then. That's when it was ready.
So her findings, the findings of her office are totally different from the findings of Indicom. Yeah. So public defender wants cop charged for a King haircut. Public defender Arlene Harrison Henry is recommending that the police corporal who was accused of cutting Nzinga King's hair be charged with assault after an investigation by her office found that the woman cut the teenager's locks out of revenge. Harrison, in a 67-page report on the incident that sparked public outrage, made a raft of recommendations, including damages for the assault that was committed by the police and the violation of her constitutional rights in respect of the cutting of her hair. King, a 19-year-old student from Denham Town in Clarendon, alleged that her dreadlocks were trimmed by a policewoman while in custody at the Four Paths police station in Clarendon in July of last year. King, who was arrested for disorderly conduct stemming from a June 2021 incident at a taxi park in Maypen, also alleges that her dreadlocks were cut because the police said that they were a suicide risk. But after months of delay in the investigation, which was turned over to the Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom by the police, the Director of Public Prosecution, Paula Llewellyn, had recommended that the police corporal should not be charged. A similar recommendation was made by Indicom. Harrison, in her report, said that there was no material evidence to support the argument that King's hair was cut because she's a Rastafarian. The cutting of Miss King's hair was inspired by revenge and venom in response to Miss King's undeniable deplorable conduct, the report said. While describing King's boisterous behavior as beyond unacceptable, the report said she posed no threat to the police, but that violence of the most painful and personal nature was inflicted upon her to teach her a lesson and to forcibly bring home to her who run things. As a result, Harrison, in recommending that the corporal be charged with assault occasioning bodily harm or assault at common law, and further, that disciplinary action be taken against her by the police force. Now, the office of the DPP should, therefore, develop an interest in her conduct at the Four Pass police station towards Miss King. There cannot be any serious question as to the identification. The issue is purely one of credibility, the report said. The public defender also called for the corporal's supervisor and inspector who was on duty at the time of King's alleged haircut to face disciplinary action for not taking any steps to prevent the criminal conduct or failing to act, having discovered negligence in her duties. Other recommendations include returning a portion of the fines paid by King at the Clarendon Parish Court, claiming that she was charged beyond the stipulated fines. A repeal of the Town and Communities Act and an amendment to the Parish Court Jurisdiction Act to make fines a default in payment, which attracts a prison term, prorated in circumstances where the term has started before the convicted person is able to pay. Llewellyn had explained that several inconsistencies were found in the case and that based on the civilian witness account, King had pulled out her own hair. She had also indicated that no trace of the policewoman's DNA was found on the locks. Meanwhile, Llewellyn said in a Gleaner interview, I think a day after this report, that she stand by her ruling, insisting that the prosecution would be unable to mount a viable case. It would appear from my cursory reading, of the report that my learned friend, the public defender, did not have the benefit of the abundance of the material that the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution and Indicom would have had in our assessment, said Llewellyn. We lifted some 26 statements, including scenes of crime and forensic reports, and these assessments, as seasoned prosecutors, we make every day at every level. So there's that. It is interesting that the findings of the public defender are totally opposite to the findings of Indicom. And no, forget about the DPP. Indicom. Okay. Indicom is an investigative body.
I remember they are always, if you ask my opinion, them
always against police.
I think most of the rulings are falling that way.
So you're saying that, I don't know.
I'm not saying that thing.
Alright, that's why I'm going to leave it, because you have to say you're a big woman, so you can't say what you want to say.
I'm not saying that thing.
I find it very, very curious that these two reports are night and day apart. Seeing that Indicom in the past, has been seen as what you said. Well, if Indicom and the DPP singing from the same hymn sheet, then we know the outcome. But Finar, what me asking, brother? Like, it is just so different. Like, I don't know. If this type of behavior by the state and its operatives continue to go unpunished, we are all walking this. Trust me, Mario Dean's mother still needs justice, by the way. Well, so I haven't completed my reading of the public defender's report and thing. Because that's one of the kind of separate myself from social media and media for a little bit at that time too. So, yeah. And as I said, the report was published, I think a day, Finar, correct me, I think a day before she demitted office. Like one day. If not one, two the most. I found that a little bit interesting as
Strange.
I use the word interesting.
Okay.
See? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yes. No, another discussion that we have been having is regarding the death penalty. As I said that, I have been trying to find the gentleman who Morgan, Pratt and Morgan was the case that was brought to the Privy Council that has caused the death penalty to kind of be put on hold. You understand? The surviving personnel, Morgan, I think, I have reached out to him. I haven't gotten any response. It would be good to have a conversation with him about his experience on death row and them something. You understand? Who may I talk to? You understand? What you understand?
That you want to talk to the man who experienced being on death row.
And DPP did not dismiss the finding.
Where is he though?
Eh? Jamaica, somewhere about the place.
Okay.
But I reached out to him via Facebook. I didn't have a direct link to. I probably mean if you check my Facebook to see if I can respond to him. Understand? It would also be good to go inside St. Catherine Adult Prison there to do to video death row. See how it's
I would like to come.
You understand? Then I work, then what you mean? Then one go sit up like the man then sit there. So yeah, so I've been trying, but we'll see again. DPP did not dismiss the finding. Well, she said that Nzinga and their legal team are free to seek redress in the civil court.
Okay.
You understand? But based on their findings in lieu of Indicom's investigation, there was not enough to suggest or recommend criminal charges. So I don't know, yeah. I really don't know. I know that Nzinga's legal team have insisted that they will be seeking redress and stuff. Until like after this report came out, some people send me some links sometimes. I tell people to stop telling me other people video team. So, people Nzinga King win her case. I say like which case Nzinga like what go on I don't know about when they got court and
you know sense like, so
I say yo brother, experience on death row. Yes bro, it was on death row. And they went to the Privy Council, and the Privy Council said that because it took so long for them to be executed, I think 5 years, it was inhumane and all them something there. And the
so
other
what was he on death row?
murder.
Oh.
Capital murder. The other convict died before.
He was executed.
Well, them never executed, man. He died naturally because before they were freed.
Okay. That
I
man must
might
take
be
when said
wrong.
roll one part. Don't come on road.
I might be wrong, but would they be successful at seeking legal redress in the civil court? Possibly enough, I cannot speak to the deed because I'm no legal luminary. I have no legal training. But I suppose the courts are there to ventilate these issues, and as such, you never know the outcome because you see many times we said things open and shut, and you don't really open and shut, and many times we say some people innocent and they're not innocent, or people guilty and they're not guilty. You know what I think, go? You understand? Pratt and Morgan, yeah man. I did a video about death row recently. I was doing a series of videos, and I think I have one more to do. I'm still trying to find a gentleman to do another one, but we don't get around to it. No, we say all of that, we say this. Many times you hear some news come out, say 6 people shot and killed Rodassa and little girl kidnapped and raped and murdered, and the common response is bring back the death penalty. The death penalty is the solution for many Jamaicans to the crime problem. I have been telling who have ears and willing to listen that it's not. It cannot be, because the reason why we did kill people, young people before is because them did still have murder people. You understand what I say?
And they still work.
So whilst it is a tool that would have some value, because some man for dead in a Scotty, don't get me wrong, You understand? But will it solve Jamaica's crime problem? Absolutely not. The crime problem is too diverse and it's too dynamic for any one thing, and it has been festering for so long for any one solution to be the magic elixir.
No broad paintbrush do that.
Cannot. You understand? So I have, but you know, you can't talk to people sometimes. The crime problem, you have to start from family values, come right back and fix them things there. Opportunities and all of these things, and resocialization and a whole heap of things. Fathers playing their role as fathers, and because many of the information is there that many of the males who commit serious crimes grew up in homes without their fathers.
Okay.
It is there. You understand? So it's not like I don't know guess game. It has been studied. You see me? So there are so many things that we as a society need to re-socialize. So we have become very complicit in criminality. We have become very accommodating of criminals. We have become defenders of the Apache. I am the defender of the Apache. Cat him and my brother, so we don't fear nobody. Geronimo him without pity. Boy, beanie man. So, Clayton says there's no evidence that the death penalty drives down crime. Yeah, you want to go on around on that, With calls growing for the death penalty to be reinstated in the island, Charles Clayton, the director of the Planning Institute of Jamaica's Community Renewal Program, has cautioned that there is no evidence that capital punishment leads to a reduction in crime and violence in countries that practice it. Clayton made the declaration during a keynote address at the second day of the Monday blah blah. Long story. Some people believe that all we need to do is to resume hanging and crime will stop. There is no data around the world that suggests that those countries that have capital punishment have a higher rate of success in terms of fewer violent incidents than those that do not, said Clayton. In fact, some of the most peaceful countries are those that do not include capital punishment in their menus of options. There is a need for a societal response, but resources are scarce, and except we combine our resources, the social environment cannot be properly tackled, Clayton added, referencing the societal circumstances that contribute to crime and violence. Now, last November, Prime Minister Andrew Holness asserted that if he were to have his way, criminals convicted for illegal possession of a firearm would be liable to face a death penalty. Holness' remarks were made during the Jamaica Labour Party's 78th annual conference, and he was subsequently condemned by attorney at law Bert Samuels as barbaric and a trespass on Jamaica's judiciary. Capital punishment is still on Jamaica's law books, but may only apply in certain aggravated murder convictions. There have been no executions carried out under Jamaican law since 1988, when Nathan Foster was hanged after being convicted of murder. In 1993, the United States-based Privy Council ruled that it was inhumane to have a convict waiting for more than 5 years to be executed, as I explained to you earlier.
But what would cause him to be waiting that long?
Because the justice system is very slow and pedantic. The backlog is there, so by the time he got to the Court of Appeal and lose this, so by the time he appeal to the Privy Council, 5 years gone. Because, it cannot be right. You understand? I suppose that is what the Privy Council is saying. Remind me if you talk about the Privy Council when we're done here. Make sure you remind me. I have something that I want to say. My dog. My dog no boxer. At present, Trinidad and Tobago remains the only English-speaking Caribbean country that has reinstated mandatory death penalty for murder. Oh, so in Trinidad, when you commit murder, you get murdered. Okay, cool.
Fair enough.
Cool. Clayton also noted that long-term exposure to violent actions in the home contributes to and may exacerbate Jamaica's decades-long desensitization to violence. We seem not able to settle dispute without resorting to violence. That is so true, man. And many of our children grow up exposed to violence. We do have a problem, and that problem is deep-seated, said Clayton. His observations came shortly after National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang made a call for Jamaicans to give more positive reinforcement to young people, particularly young men. Too many times our young men live as if life is not worth it. They need to feel that they have equity in society, and if we work together, we can reverse this trend, said Chang, at our hearts, Jamaicans are not people who like to hurt each other. And no, we need to restore that. I think he said that
That's
if you
what
give
me.
young men jobs and pay them what? 150 or 250,000 a month. I think that was what it said, making jobs that pay young men 200.
Oh, Chang.
Yeah, I don't remember the figure. I think a 250 still. A 250? I don't want to lie upon him,
I think it's something near there, so because I remember reading, I think it was on Twitter, somebody was saying persons with degree now get their money that much. And yeah, man, me read it somewhere. Who get water?
You see that thing? You know what they want to yeah? I want to interview we carry them from. Take a Zoom J interview. I want to Amir Williams.
Yeah, right, smarty. And I run to
It's man did a fight after she beat him, man. I know I'm just putting on him clothes. Like my caveman.
hot.
Hot weird.
Eh.
So that's the thing. So the death penalty, as I said, it's an important tool in the crime fight, but it is not the silver bullet to the crime monster for the crime monster. Forget what I say.
Fair enough.
Oh, the Privy Council.
Mm-hmm.
So watch your style here. Watch your style here. You know that the opposition leader has been very vocal about moving away from the Queen becoming a... Yeah? No. A police officer was freed by the Privy Council recently, and I don't remember the details of his case. I think it was him killing his wife and this. Long story. Probably we'll talk about that next time. But his lawyer was Valerie Nita.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie Nita now is a member of the People's National Party.
Mm-hmm.
She has said that we need to retain the Privy Council. So, I kind of find that strange to see them not singing from the same hymn sheet. You understand what I say?
I'm going to sing from two different songs.
They're not singing a key. That's strange. But I'll talk about that in the future because it's interesting. Half the children reported missing last year not found. That's no good. At least 1,500 of the nation's children reported missing in the last 5 years have not been found. Wow. Even as the number of reports continues to trend down, that's good. Data from the Child Protection and Family Services Agency show that between 2017 and 2021, some 6,686 children were reported missing. That is a lot. Of that figure, 5,106 children have since been located. Females accounted for 78.6%.
Mm-hmm.
The agency said that last year, 893 children were reported missing, of which 425, or 47.6%, have been located. Over the years, we have continued to record worryingly high figures of missing children, said Ananda J. Roberts, Ananda Alert Officer. Oh, strange, eh? Yeah. She was speaking during a ceremony to mark the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Child Protection and Family Agency and other partner agencies to the Ananda Alert system at one place. So Roberts said that figure for 2021 was the lowest figure on record, with St. Catherine seeing the highest number of children going missing, with 176 reports made between January and October. Kingston and St. Andrew had the second highest number of reports, 134, followed by Clarendon, 69. I'm not surprised that St. Catherine leads because you have the largest dormitory community in the Western Hemisphere in St. Catherine, and many of the missing children tend to be from Portmore. You understand? So, and then Kingston and St. Andrew is another urban area. You understand what I say? So, yeah. But, yeah, long story short. Need to find the people that will pay Oberman to kill off people, and sentence them to death as well. Oh, your man kill people, bro. The report reminds me of Jasmine Dean, who has remained missing to this day. Now, soldier's gun recovered in dead prostitute probe. Remember that situation where them find the dead female in the soldier vehicle and then couldn't find him gun? St. Lassie. The sergeant remanded as weapon set to undergo testing. So the police have found the firearm of Jamaica Defence Force sergeant who had failed to hand over the weapon, claiming it was stolen after a prostitute was found dead in his car. The weapon will now be subjected to ballistic testing. The woman's bullet-riddled body was found in the soldier's car along Caledonia Avenue in St. Andrew on February 26th. So investigation led to 43-year-old Theophilus Tracy being taken into custody and charged with failing to hand over his firearm. Last month, when he appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court, his attorney at law, Peter Champney, QC, indicated that his client will not be able to to satisfy the police's request for him to hand over his firearm as he was robbed of it. He was robbed of it. However, this article is a little bit old. Yesterday, that day, when the matter was mentioned, the prosecutor indicated that something has now been discovered and that thing is now in the custody of the police and they need to do more scientific tests to find out what happened to that thing. That thing. Me not catch your melody. The court was also told that the police need more time to get further advice from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions on how to proceed and request another month. Champney, however, argued that his client has been in custody since February and that it would be unreasonable to remand him for another month. The lawyer also indicated that it was not his intention to apply for bail, but the prosecutor told the senior parish judge Lorian Cole Montague that the sergeant's stint in the army would be coming to an end soon, and if released, he could flee the country. The judge was also told that Tracy could also interfere with the witnesses, so he should remain in custody. But Champney countered, saying that there were no witnesses in the case for his client to obstruct unless he's going to interfere with the investigating officer. The judge in response said that while she was mindful of the time that the accused has been in custody, waiting until April 28th was reasonable, but that the date was really determined by the earliest convenient date in the court's diary. Consequently, a mentioned date was scheduled for Tracy to return to court on May 2, and he was further remanded. Tracy was charged after he reportedly refused to hand over his gun for ballistic testing in connection with the investigation surrounding the death of the unidentified woman. He was interviewed by the police and reportedly produced his firearm user's license and the license fee certificate, but reportedly refused to hand over the weapon, claiming that he wanted to speak to his attorney. It is being alleged that he later informed the police that he was robbed of the firearm. You can't write these things, man. No, I have for a long time stated that one of the ways to treat with young men getting caught up in crime is for all unattached youth between the ages of 18 to 25 that there should be mandatory enlistment. If you're that age, you're not work, you're not go to school, you're not do nothing with yourself, mandatory enlistment. Some people not for that, but wholeness to compel unattached youth to provide national service. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, and I now says teach them watch and hear this, Me just said the answer. So. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced that the government is moving toward a compulsory national service program, which he said will be rolled out through the Jamaican National Service Corps, in short order. Yeah? I have been saying this for so long. Holness made the announcement at one place around a little London police when they have one groundbreaking thing. It is clear to me that part of the solution to our problem is that we must be out there literally recruiting the young men before the gangs recruit them, Holness said. The JNSC, the Jamaica National Service thing, is a new category of military service which targets the nation's unattached youth who are given basic military training. Somebody say, well, I give them basic military training to come out and kill more people, as in, you know, in criminal ways, to get what they must say. You understand? There's always that possibility, you know. There's always that likelihood. But I think there will be more good than bad coming from it. I hope. It is the standard mode of enlistment for persons joining the Jamaica Defence Force to serve as full-time soldiers. Holness noted that the COVID-19 pandemic affected the extent to which youngsters were recruited into the JNSC, but said it will be expanded to genuinely and truly create a national compulsory service program. Because we will not be able to make quick and radical change in the trajectory of youth-generated crime. Crime generated by young people without getting our youngsters into a proper program of socialization. Meanwhile, he also announced that a special piece of legislation, the Enhanced Security Measures Act, will be brought before Parliament shortly. He said that special emergency powers are required as part of the crime fighting strategy and plan. He emphasized that generally, the perpetrators and victims of crime are young men between the ages of 16 and 24. He said that the ESMA will place specific focus on this area, and so on and so forth, and what. Teach them that initiative is used in other countries before. Now, yeah, man, I know, man. I have been very vocal about that being a part of the plan to, or the attempt to treat with the crime situation as, as an ingrained in the fabric of youth. We have never had that mindset as a nation. Yes, Auntie. What do you think about that, youth?
I agree. Get let's say I the dog worship. So if they are engaged.
I the dog worship.
Yeah, I get dog worship.
Yeah, man, I know it, man.
So if they're engaged, then it reduces the possibility of them being caught up in criminal activities. So yeah.
Yeah, Finar, the weapon was a licensed firearm, and it wasn't JDF issued. I think it was his personal licensed weapon. Speaking about the soldier in that situation and thing. And them something. Yes, so well
yeah, man, in agreement with that.
So we'll eat more things once since we're not stream, but those were the things that I felt compelled to address tonight. And hopefully all things being equal, streaming will resume regular. As I said, they were.
No, next Saturday you're going to be busy.
I don't think I'll be there that late.
Okay.
So yeah, and thing. So I hope to stream. Teach, you know what? I was mentioning the other day. I'm saying to myself that the police in Maple. Yes, DeAndre. Yeah, man. You see that gang thing there? Well, the Ranko gang thing and them Maple supermarket robbery and thing. Just do the maths, man. Just do the maths. A good man, alright, man, that. Imagine the force can barely teach discipline to people who voluntarily enlist. How there? Yeah, but the discipline level in the military kind of has waned over the years in truth. Yeah, man, it's not what it was. But simply put, may I put it simply, I am certain that these young men would be far less prone to becoming gang members and to get involved in activities that are less than ideal once they are there. So whilst the military does not have the lust and glory that it once had, it is still a way of trying to get some of these unattached youths off the streets. Nothing try, nothing done.
We have to try some of
You
because
understand?
not doing anything is not helping any way you take it.
Yeah, man. Doing
So
something
some
is
have to
always
be
better
done.
than not doing nothing, man. You understand? So we have to try. We have to try, simply put. I mean, get what you say, but we have to try. You understand? Because, you see, we get up every day and we talk as leaders in the country and nothing. Well, for me, this is something that I have spoken to many a times, right in the same chair in front of them same camera. Other cameras. Zin,
Next camera.
that is something that we need to look at seriously. Zin, we know the age range of the problematic males in the society, 16 to 24. I normally say 16 to 25. If you're unattached, you're not working, you're not going to school, you are not progressing. Mandatory enlistment. I have said that a million times. You understand? Yeah, we could win some and hopefully not lose much. So we have to try something have to give. Something's gotta give. It is mandatory, Christopher. So I suppose there will be some form of penalty attached to that. I would assume. You understand? So I don't know. Peace, big up on yourself. Tomorrow, Sunday service, 12 noon. Goofy, part 2 has been done. Yes, so I'm going to start the upload process. So, part few, Zine and thing. And then Tuesday, Agent Sasko. You understand? And thing. So, on the look out. Get book out. Zine, and for the people who don't know, I have started premiering interviews on a Sunday. So if there's a 2-part interview, the part 2 will be on a Sunday, and then there will always be an interview for a Sunday, whether WhatsApp or artist spotlight or another artist. Tuesday is a premiere spot. You understand? But there will always be Sunday as long as I'm able to meet.
Edit out.
Yes, to get the edit out. That is it. And thing. So, and thing. Think I might show about Mikey Loss for next Sunday too. Nigga Mikey.
Face not come up.
Yeah man, the man with bush out man. Come up Father Romy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah man, Rice and Peas premiere. Yes, I know some people love the Sunday premiere. DS was always not happy when we moved it to Tuesday from Sunday. I never see me on Sunday one, you know. Tell me saying he got service in 5 Series Mercedes Benz. Yeah, all of these things.
When I leave DS alone.
Tuesday part 1 hour. I think that interview is about 2 hours and 50 minutes, you know. The agent Sasko interview or something, I don't know. Probably, you know.
Part 2. That must be a 2-part interview.
Really? Because when we don't edit that, there will probably be like 2 hours 45 minutes. Yeah. Alright, maybe. A 1 hour and 20 minutes and a 1 hour and 20 minutes. Make we see. Jeffrey Campbell should be an interesting interview. Auntie. Yeah, Pierce, so big up on yourself. I know we're kind of erratic with the streaming thing, but boy.
I wouldn't say we are erratic. We just had a little, you know, for the past couple of weeks. But we're trying to balance.
We're erratic.
We are?
Yeah.
You are.
Okay, cause let me alone stream. Remember a couple days you got the practical kill fall and come in frazzle out.
Yeah.
And think so you go on like say I'm me. You understand?
But it's one time that, sir.
One time you got a wedding I'm gonna be here. Okay, I can reel them
So
off
that's
and reel them off.
February.
But we never stream. The way I talk about. You understand?
No, but we were streaming after that.
Yeah, but me I tell you the time when you stream, most of them are your fault.
But that if I will go down that road.
No, because you tell the people them like earlier say I'm my fault and it's really not my fault. Peace, big up on yourself, brother. You understand? You go and take a bad name, you know what I mean? You know what thing go? I get my overhead look at it before me leave. You understand? Peace, what?
Richie was cut erratic. Richie, go to your bed. That's what you need to do. Go to your bed.
You see me? And things. Sis, big up yourself, you know. You look nice and clean now. I like say natural hair.
Let's not get into that ear argument now.
Me not get into it. I tell them I like a natural hair. What kind of ear argument? You see when you stay me say me like before you say thank you. Like
because I know where you're going. I know exactly where you're going with it.
Make on ear breathe a little bit, man. Give thanks.
Then it a breathe. Me have
Right. Yeah, son. A nice little twist now and look. A nice little, like Sambo little girl.
Boy.
Bleach out. Leave your ear, brother. Go bleach out. Yeah, son. Like seriously, the Empress always right. Yeah, don't think the Empress is always right. That's why you have to survive in that world. Like, okay, brother, a war if you don't understand. I never say erotic, you know, I say erratic. You understand? So when a man come tell me, I never say it was erotic, you know. I say erratic.
Richie said it. It's Richie said.
You understand? So me make him man them diction wrong. You understand? Yeah, peace. Big up on yourself. Soon or tomorrow at 12. Make it a date and don't be late. Don't book feet. Don't look feet. Get book feet. And you know what Tuesday 7:30. You know what I mean? You know what the thing go. And thing. Peeps. Art of love. Walk good. Step with Jah. Safe travel upon the gravel. I'll use my intro for my outro. You understand? Wanna big up on yourself. Eh?
I said nothing new in your life. Your intro for your outro.
Yeah, man. In and out. Start with any like how we start it. Be it nice.
I'm not even going to come in.
Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. Around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
Broadcasting live.
We will broadcast
live. This is ExtraClass, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.